right? Just because, right? We talked about this. Well, first and foremost, I just want to say happy Thanksgiving, right? Happy New Year's to everybody. It's officially January 1st, 2023. How was your New Year's?
It was great, man. We had a lot of fun. You know, family. We ate a lot of fajitas. It was crazy, right? Is my nephew flew from the valley. That's 956 for some of y'all. It ain't California.
The
The real valley.
real Valley, yeah.
Uh,
Real
he
Grand Valley.
flew down some fajitas, man. Chicken fajitas, beef fajitas. Oh, and obviously Delia's tamales.
Wow,
So
you guys
hey,
are
man, yeah, man, it was a good one, bro. So we had a great time. I think the biggest one for me, Jerry, was I was around family, bro. So that made it all better.
Beatman's on TikTok, right? He says, "I know this is football talk, NFL football talk, but go dogs, right? Because you talk about the Georgia Bulldogs.
Hey,
That was a crazy. That was a
that
crazy.
was a crazy game, Jerry.
I didn't think they were gonna pull it off, but man, he pulled it off, man. Um, and then we have somebody here, Eugene Fontenot. What? How do you say that?
Fontenot,
Go Cowboys, yes sir.
who's that? That's a new one.
I know this is a new one. If you're a new subscriber, thank you.
Thank you.
Hey, B-Man, if you're still live, can you give me a sound check on Harvey? Just let me know if you can hear Harvey. So, how was the food, Harvey?
It was good, man. It was amazing. You can't get them fajitas around here, man. Not anywhere here.
Not even,
So
not even the deli tamales, dude. Like those things. Hey,
those things are addicting.
I don't like tamales, man. And you know what? That's weird, right? We've talked about,
What?
yeah, we've talked about this. That was your first exact same. But I said if it comes down to deli tamales, they have two, t- two that I will for sure get, and they are like you said, addicting. It has to be the frijoles with queso and jalapeno and green chicken cheese chile. Man, those are the best, man. B man says he can hear you. Let's go. Let's roll. Fernando, good to see you. Things were lining up for the boys today for the number one spot, man. Oh, man, all the way to the end. Even with the 49ers, man, we thought, right, for a moment there, I mean, me and Harvey were texting back and forth. Oh, do you think the Raiders can hold on to his lead? And, man, I mean, the Raiders, we know what they're going through, man. And like you said, I mean, Minnesota dropped, Eagles dropped, and we're like, oh, we just needed them pesky 49ers to drop. And, I mean, it looks, I will tell you this. Jared Stidham, from what I observed, Jared Stidham looked like he was not a franchise type quarterback, but I guess he's their. I think he's the Raiders' backup for sure. Or now he's their quarterback. But
He's their starter now, Jerry.
my thing is that he's not a starter in the NFL caliber starter.
Why would you say that?
I just don't trust him to get me to a Super Bowl, man. Win the Super Bowl. I'm just saying that's what I judge the layer of competition when it comes to quarterbacks.
So this is my thing though, Jerry. This is his first NFL start against what number two defense or number one defense in the NFL? Number one defense in the NFL. And hold on, let me I don't want to get this wrong, right? I want to make sure I get this right. So you're telling me you don't trust Jared Stidman, right? I hope I say that. Stidham,
They just call him Stiddy, but Stidham.
Stiddy, right?
Yeah.
And this dude just regular Sunday backyard football, baby, 365 yards and 3 touchdowns on the number one defense, and you don't trust this guy. First start against the number one defense. Got it.
He had his
Makes sense.
the only reason I say this is because he had his opportunities with the Patriots. But for him to go and showcase that against the number one defense, it just shows you that the 49ers are beatable, man. And you know what? I really cannot wait till the Dallas Cowboys go and freaking snatch that chain from the 49ers and move on past them and get into the Super Bowl. So I will tell you this, man. The stars are aligning perfectly. I couldn't even be more stoked. And if you're a Cowboys fan, you should be ecstatic right now because I'll
For
tell you
sure.
this: the Eagles are phonies. They are phonies. They cannot. They are not what we think they are. People have crowned them too early. I know the Cowboys. They make their mistakes, but when it comes down to making sure that they win, they are in it all the way to the end of the fourth quarter. Now, one of these things where, you know what I'm saying, these teams that haven't been doing quite so good, and on and I mean, all these games were crazy today. But what do you think, Harv? I mean,
Look, man. There's so many scenarios right now, Jerry. So this is my team. Is that swag?
that's swag.
Hey, this is my thing, right? And this is a question for everybody. Um, because this is interesting, right? Well, do we want the first round bye?
No,
I don't think we do, right?
no,
Now, this is my thing. I'm gonna throw a scenario out there, right? See how we feel about it. If the Niners win, which they should win next week,
they should.
okay, and the Eagles lose, right? Does that make the Niners the first seed?
I think right now they are in the driver's seat right now.
Okay. So this is my thing, because I gotta look this up. This is a scenario that everybody's gonna be like, wait a minute, that kind of makes sense, and I'm gonna break it down for you.
So Fernando says, "Would you rather play Green Bay
And that's the point I'm getting to. Okay,
or you
I'm
rather
okay.
Green Bay in the first seat or the Giants in the second seat?"
Well, no,
I
no.
I'm not second seat. Second round. I'm guessing that's what you're saying.
Well, the thing is, if Green Bay wins, they're in. They're in, regardless of what happened. Doesn't matter. Green Bay just has to win to get in. If they win and the Niners win and the Eagles win, the Niners play Green Bay.
Oh man, that would be nice.
The Niners have to play Aaron Rodgers, and the way the Green Bay Packers are playing right now, and they just got Jair Alexander back. A couple of weeks now, he's been playing right. He's playing good, man.
It is, man.
And they shut down Justin Jefferson, one catch, 15 yards. So I don't think the Niners want to play Aaron Rodgers. That's just my opinion. And you can say all the things. Hey, this is my team. I get it. You do not want to play Aaron Rodgers in the playoffs. I'm just saying, Jerry.
I don't. I don't. You know the reason why is because when you look at the Packers themselves, they're hitting it. They're starting off fast and they're ending. They're. I mean, they're literally pressing the gas all the way to the fourth quarter. That's what I've seen these last 2 weeks, which is something totally different, right? Because we saw Packers that were lost. They were completely lost. Now they're catching rhythm. I don't know what. I don't know why. I don't know what got into them, but yeah, that's a team I don't want to face in the playoffs. What did it say? Bye. Have a great night. We hope Eagles to lose. We come to we won't be the number one seed. We definitely would
No.
have the NFC East Division Championship, which means everybody would have to come to Dallas. Cowboys wouldn't have to go to the Eagles. They wouldn't have to go anywhere to get that. Somebody says he is tough in the playoffs. Yeah, that beat man said that about A-Rod.
Yeah, he is, man.
Cowboys, we are either going to face Green Bay or Tampa. I don't want to face either one. You know, honestly, Tampa, they look like they're just a fourth quarter team. So obviously, if you
Yeah.
go with the right game plan and you put up the points on Tampa early, well then Tampa's gonna have to play hero ball. I understand. You know, we saw Tom Brady do something similar with them against the Falcons when he was with the Patriots, right? That 28-3 lead, but you're talking about a Bucks team that's overpriced and lazy, man, on defense. Rodgers can't beat the Niners in the playoffs. If you good, it don't matter who you get. Very well said.
Yeah, but I sometimes I don't agree with that though, Jerry.
Hmm.
I think sometimes in the NFL, tell me if I'm wrong, certain matchups are not good.
They're not.
I'm just saying, like, look at Cincinnati and Chiefs. That's not a good matchup for the Chiefs. As good as that team is, it's just they have their number. I don't know what it is. So sometimes teams have. It's not a good matchup. That's all I say, in my opinion.
No. You're absolutely right. And I think that's the beauty of the NFL, right? Uh, Tom Brady has never lost to the Cowboys. I think this year that I really do think that the Cowboys can change that around, and that's something that Dak has been wanting to get that monkey off his back.
Yeah.
Sir Nando says, "I got the Lions being Green Bay next week." Man, I mean, we were with you, right, Harv? I think we and you were on, and we said, "Man, I think the Lions are a team that you got to be careful with because their offense can put up some points,
Yep.
and it's kind of hard, right, at the rate they're going." But man, the Lions lost to the Panthers, and then look at the Panthers get. I mean, I don't know. I don't think it was they got destroyed, but they got manhandled by the Bucks. Bucks look good today.
But this is the thing though. In order for the Detroit Lions to get in, they need help.
They had a lot of help.
So Detroit needs to win first of all the game next week, and the Seahawks have to lose. That's what has to happen for Detroit to get in. That's it. So, I mean, the Seahawks to get in, they need Detroit to lose, and Seahawks need to win. All Green Bay has it's theirs in the taking. Green Bay just has to win, and they're in.
It's interesting. Well, let's look. We got a couple clips, right? Because I'll tell you this right now: with the Dallas Cowboys, they have a situation at hand. They haven't done this since 1992 to 1996. Was it
1996? Yep.
Which is go back to back NFC East Division champs. So it's been a while for the Cowboys or anybody in the division to be able to do this. But for the Dallas Cowboys specifically, it was during 1992 to 1996. We got somebody here. It looks like he's a new one too. Fifth seed or not, we need to beat anyone and not just take them lightly. Absolutely correct, man.
You're
That's
right, man.
I
Yep.
mean, straight to the point, facts right there.
Yeah.
You're actually right. But let's take a look, or let's take a listen into Nick Sirianni, right? Because we're listening to him, and let's see. I mean, just listen to how the tone of the Philadelphia Eagles has changed, and you can hear it in his voice, man. It's crazy.
But next week we'll have a chance to win the division title at home.
Why did the offense perform so poorly in the first half?
I mean, I think you got to give credit, obviously, to that defense. That's a good, well-coached defense. Excuse me. With good players, obviously, we didn't put the players in good enough position to succeed, and we didn't execute well enough. So it's always going to be those two things. Obviously, I'm going to have to watch the tape and see what's going on. But we didn't really have a rhythm going, in that first half. I think we had three and outs or whatever, how many 3 and outs there was. And in one of them, we got way behind the sticks. And, just when you're not converting on third down, and I mean, it's hard to convert on the one that was third and forever. But when you're not converting on third down and you're not getting drives sustained, it's hard to get in a rhythm. And that's exactly what happened when we didn't get a first down. Again, why were we did that happen? Again, it's always going to be coaching. It's always going to be execution. And then obviously give.
So whatever to how about them Eagles? Remember that? I don't know if you remember that little line that he threw out there, right? And it's when he was he was very proud that the Eagles beat up on the Dallas Cowboys when Cooper Rush was leading them, right? So obviously now they know that they're fighting for the division. They've literally lost pretty much all their momentum, and they can see that it's really riding on the hands of what they have in Jalen Hurts, right? Because obviously without Jalen Hurts, that running game is pretty much non-existent. And if they take the running game away and they force them to pass, what happens, Harvey? You're on mute.
No, they're you make teams one-dimensional, man. It's hard to win in this league. So like you said, man, that's what they've been missing, the running the ball with Jalen Hurts, and that kind of opens up the running backs as well, Jerry. It's not just Jalen Hurts, but you have to take accountability for the running backs and the quarterback, which makes it tricky for linebackers. So they're not able to run that ball, man. You make them one-dimensional, it's not good. It's not good.
Somebody's asking, so can we still get the first seed? The only way is if the Eagles lose next week and the 49ers lose and the Cowboys win. That's the only way for the Cowboys to get the first seed. But right now, what the Cowboys are trying to do is concentrate on getting the division, right? Because we want to make sure that the playoffs become a home game, right? I think that's the only thing. Talk Cowboy says Niners defense got exposed today. I think
They did.
they really did, man. I mean, we saw some. We definitely saw that this 49ers defense is not what people think, man. I will give it to D'Amico Ryans, man. He's done a hell of a job, man. I mean, he's
Yeah.
he's really had a tremendous amount of success with Robert Saleh and of course the players that they've been able to acquire, right? And a lot of them are already getting into year 3, year 4, where they're what I'm saying. Year 3 is when you can really judge a draft pick, and a lot of their draft picks are already in year 3, and they're starting to they're starting to come into um a good flow and a good understanding of this defense. But obviously, this defense is not perfect, and we even saw Brock Purdy. I mean, he's been throwing some picks. He's been throwing some picks too. So for it to even be close, I would be ashamed if I was the 49ers, man, because 49ers are one of those fan bases that are just like the Eagles, man. They like to yap away and they like to talk smack on the Cowboys and yada yada yada. We already know all what they like to say, but I'll tell you this, man. If I'm a 49er or if I'm an Eagle fan right now, I am worried, man. I really am worried because I mean, teams see that and they will take advantage of it. I mean, that's why you say sometimes with the Dallas Cowboys that maybe the Cowboys are not showing their hand too early because they don't want these defenses to tip off. And I
Yep.
think you're absolutely right, man. But let's hear Nick Sirianni talking about Jalen Hurts, right? Because uh I think that they asked him about his availability. So knowing what's at stake, let's hear what Nick Sirianni had to say about Jalen Hurts.
Say that again, Tim.
What's it going to mean for you guys, Nick, if you do get Jalen back for this biggest?
Yeah, I mean, and he's a leader of our football team, so it would, again, we'll see what happens, and it would obviously be good to have him back just because of the type of person and the type of leader he is.
Cleared to play. Will he play?
I'm sorry.
If he's medically cleared to play, will Jalen Hurts play?
Yeah, if Jalen's able to go, he'll go.
So my thing is no, we already went through those comments that a comment came in through. It was Johnny, right? Johnny said that the actual injury that Jalen Hurts was it something to do with his clavicle? Is that what it was?
Yeah. So it's where the AC joint connects with the clavicle. So that's where he's having the issue. And that thing hurts, man. I know what they're talking about. It's hard to throw the ball. So
but that one, they say you need like about 5 weeks of real rest to let it rest. But if he's cleared, they're gonna play him. What would you do, Harv? I mean, let's say you're Nick Sirianni, you're in charge of the Eagles. I mean, what?
Honestly, man, I'll be honest.
Are you making sure he's getting the check mark to play?
So of course you have to. If the doctors say no, man, he's not playing. Like, you know what I'm saying? I got to see the MRI. I got to see if there's inflammation in there, whatever it is that they got to see and check. He ain't playing, man, if he can't go. That's just the way it is. I hate to say that because for me, I would rather have my quarterback healthy, right, going into the playoffs than having him play and then hurt it even more and have to be out longer or maybe make it even worse. Now, if you're in the happy medium and he can start and he's good to go and he has no issues and they win the game, you still have another 2 weeks, right, to rest. So it's just kind of iffy, man. It really depends on what those doctors say about Jalen Hurts.
Okay, I'm just saying they're risking him having another injury and then not be available in the playoffs, and then now who's one and done? You know what I mean? So that's why I say, is there too much? Do you think there's too much pride just to let this one, you know what I'm saying, ride it out, let him be fully healthy until get into the playoffs?
I don't think so, Jerry, because you got to think, man. How many players do they have hurt?
I mean, they lost they lost Josh Sweat, also their defensive end, the one that that took the pick six from Dak.
So
he's had a great season too for the Eagles.
So this is my thing, man. I think they really need this game. and they might have to sacrifice Jalen Hurts to get there. The only reason I say that is because they'll have 2 weeks off. I think they need it, man.
So somebody's saying teams are starting to heat up. Tampa Bay and Green
Yep.
Bay. Dallas,
Who's that?
I don't know.
Daniel Costa? Yeah, man. He's right, Jerry.
Cowboys need to stay focused and hopefully get healthy on defense.
Yep.
Let me see. Somebody says it was good that apparently somebody's saying that Jalen Hurts was good to go this week, but it's not about pride. He's the MVP of this league. And
That doesn't make any sense. But
it doesn't make any sense. But I mean, you can't crown him MVP. You know what I mean? But we can kind of see if you're a homer and let's say you're an Eagle fan. Yeah, of course you're gonna say he's the MVP because I mean, obviously you guys had a phenomenal season without him. You guys are just an average team, man. I'm sorry to say this, man. Somebody says with Sweat, it's a neck/spine concern, and he will be back for playoffs. I mean, I know that he was in the hospital, so that's very scary. Anytime somebody has to go to the hospital, and okay, so they did say Sweat was released from the hospital though, and they aren't gonna sacrifice Hurts. So obviously all great things, but look, in the big scheme of things, let's get back to Cowboys football, right? Because that's exactly why we went online. I think that when we look back at these teams, sometimes a lot of the feedback that we've been getting, and we get bashed like on the daily, right, Harvey?
yeah, that's fine though.
Yeah, it is. It's all good because I mean, in the end, we'll see, and then we'll be the ones that are victorious. But and when I say us, I'm saying Cowboys Nation is going to be victorious, right? Because I believe that the Cowboys are going to get to the Super Bowl, and this is the best year for them to actually win the Super Bowl because even the AFC, as good as we want to crown them, yeah, they have good quarterbacks, but man, some of their teams are not as complete as what you think. You know what I mean? And that's where if you can kind of take away what they're best at doing, I mean, literally, they're just a regular team. So it's a great year for the Dallas Cowboys. But let's look at the big picture. The Cowboys have the Commanders. Carson Wentz didn't have a good game by any stretch of the imagination today. I just did not get to finish seeing his stats right before we went online. But I will say this: Cowboys are gonna. I'm more than sure the Cowboys they're gonna suit up everybody. So that means that Micah's gonna probably be a full goal. DeMarcus Lawrence gonna be a full goal. Everybody's gonna be a full goal. I think even I heard. I mean, so from what we were seeing with Tyler Biotis, because I believe with him it was the fear is that he has a high ankle sprain, but it's not as severe as what they're saying. That if he really wanted to, he could play. But we've heard Dak Prescott saying that Connor McGovern has actually been his backup center all year round, and he takes snaps at it. I know at one point, Harv, you said Connor McGovern should get the shot because of his long arms and his anchor and whatnot. So, definitely, I think that there's going to be some kind of a bit of a growing pain because I think we need to give Tyler Biotis that time to rest and get back. And of course, come playoffs, I believe that's when the Cowboys get Jonathan Hankins back at defensive tackle, which, man, when he's there, and then we're going to have Leighton Vander Esch, which when Leighton Vander Esch was there, and it was Foots the King who gave us the stat line, when LVE plays, he actually helps the pass rush get to number 2 in the entire NFL. But right now, our pass rush is not as good without LVE. I think we're ranked in the 30s without LVE. So LVE, Jonathan Hankins, Tyler Biotis, how do you feel about the Cowboys getting into it? And before we get off, I want you to make a prediction. Do we get this NFC East division wrapped up? But let's answer. How do you feel about the players that we're going to be getting back for the playoffs?
No, I feel good, man. I think we're better with LVE and Jonathan Hankins, obviously, of course, 100%. But to me, man, it's one of those things. I think we're just a better team, period. We'll be better with them, right? But my question is, what are the Giants going to do? They're already in, and their position's not going to change.
It's good. It's a good question.
So to me, like, I honestly, the way the Giants have been, I don't know too much about their injuries or what's going on. It's really up to the coach, right? But if they sit all their players, I see the Eagles winning the NFC East, in my opinion. And I see the Niners staying at the second seed, and I'm okay with that. And the Niners will more than likely, I think Green Bay will beat the Detroit Lions next week, and they'll punch their ticket into the playoffs. And you're going to see the Niners versus the Green Bay Packers. That's my opinion on it. I don't think we'll win the NFC East.
So you're saying Cowboys will stay at the 5th seed?
Yeah, the only reason I say that is because
the East.
What's that?
You're saying they're not going to be the NFC East.
And the only reason I'm saying that because I honestly think they're going to sit the Giants players. There's no need to play them
because they clinched their
yeah. Unless the coach is like, no, we need to play this game, then that's a little different. I'm not too sure, but I think in my opinion that's what it's going to come down to. I think if they play all their players, they have a shot to beat this Philadelphia Eagles team. If they don't, they'll lose, and the Cowboys will stay in the 5th seed. The Niners will play the Green Bay Packers because I think the Packers will punch their ticket, and it's all from there. So, but these teams are getting hot, man.
They are really getting hot. Adam, where you been, man? We've been waiting for you. James Garcia, the Eagles are nothing without Hurts.
Hey, James Garcia, that's a new one, Jerry. Got a new YouTube member.
Welcome aboard. We do appreciate whenever somebody joins us and they subscribe, and of course, turn on your notifications, lets you know we go live. But we're still starting to, we are still waiting for the schedule for next week, right? Because eventually I think could be a Saturday game.
Yeah.
I believe that's what they're talking about right now.
So Colby Stewart said, well, if the Giants hit their players, don't you think Philly would do? No. But he corrected himself. No, Philly has to win the NFC East.
That's the big thing.
And secure the first round bye. They have to win, man.
It's
they
huge.
Have to.
It's huge. I mean, this is not one of those games that you take off, and nobody can take it off. Only maybe the Giants can take that game off. But I mean, we've seen some crazy things, man. If Hurts is not there, I'm telling you, I think these Giants can give them fits, man, just because of what they have on defense.
So let me read some of these comments. Danny Ungar just said Giants are resting everybody. You guys are playing the Bucs. Yeah, of course, we've known that.
Ready to.
And then Colby Stewart or Talk Cowboy responded, Philly needs to win for the number 1 seed, obviously to win. Spate, great. They don't have a shot regardless. Hurts is back. Enjoy the show. Wow.
Okay. We'll
Packers getting hot right now. Hopefully Giants don't sit their players. I think they're going to sit them, Jerry. I really do.
I mean, how much can you sit? Because their players are already, I mean, some of the players that they've already been sitting, they're actually were their starters last year. You know what I mean? Most importantly, Kenny Galladay, I think what's his name? Bright. The running back is probably a little bit better than Saquon. What's his name, man? Something right.
It's Zero just said the only time Giants fans and Dallas Cowboy fans can come together.
Yeah. He goes, I'm scared of the Bucs and the Niners. I'm not afraid of the Niners after I saw what they did with not what the showing they did with the Raiders. Raiders are a complete mess, man. A complete mess on offense and defense. And the Raiders took it to them, man. OT.
They did, man. They did.
They really did.
They did.
Somebody says blame Yellowstone. What happens to the Packers now? I mean, obviously
they win, they're in, man. They win, they're in.
Or they lose, they're out, right?
Yep.
Giants will start their players. They have a history last season about Eagles sitting their players.
Oh yeah.
And then do you all think Hurts can come back strong? I don't. Man, I don't know, man. From what we're hearing is that injury is a little bit more we have somebody that's a part of Eagles Nation saying that he was ready to go today, but they decided to rest him up. But from the actual injury that he has, it has that one of them timetables of 3 to 5 weeks of rest that he needs, man, because it's a serious injury. And I think it's on his throwing one too, right? I believe.
Yeah, it's his throwing one. So I just think, for the longest I've said, man, I always give credit when credit is due. The Niners have been playing outstanding, man. You can't say anything bad about them. But man, for you to get exposed for your first starting quarterback in the NFL and get exposed for over 500 yards total offense, like, man, you have to be thinking, man, like, what the hell happened? And I saw some of it, Jerry. They were helping those defensive ends. They were helping those tackles with those defensive ends a little bit, which gave that quarterback a little bit more time steady to throw the ball. And what was happening was they were creeping those receivers behind those linebackers right down the middle, man. So, I mean, it's a copycat league, Jerry. You know that. And
but we already said this, man. From all these teams we just mentioned, the only quarterback that we would have to give respect is Jalen Hurts, right? The other quarterbacks, Kirk Cousins looks like hot garbage.
yeah,
A-Rod, okay, A-Rod did good today, you know what I'm saying? But I mean, his play all year round has been real spotty.
yeah.
So has Tom Brady. I can't even believe that there's rumors circling that Tom Brady is going to be a Raider next year. Why? You know what I mean? I think his career is already done, man. He needs to get into the booth, start thinking about life after football. James Garcia says if the Eagles don't beat the Giants and claim the 1 seed, they are a disappointment. Correct? Because you know why? They've had the best season from everybody. Their record, I mean, it just shows you that records should. I mean, you're trying to compare records. It's a battle that you're not going to win, man, because what it comes down to is when you get into a playoffs, are you going to be one and done? And that's been the Cowboys, that's been the one thing that's haunting the Cowboys. And I believe this is the year that the Cowboys are able to shake it off. I'm not going to say, oh, they're going to do it with a whole bunch of style points and it's going to be blowout. No, we already know when Cowboys come, that's when the opposing teams bring their A game. Yeah. And it just becomes an ugly, entertaining game all the way to the fourth quarter. But you know what? I like where this team, the Dallas Cowboys, are. Each week for the last 6 weeks, they have been battle tested. And they have been coming away with the wins. Yeah, there's some wins that let's put this on the side. The Jaguars win, that was a fluke. Ari, was that a fluke? Yes or no?
I think it was, man. He dropped that ball and it was right in his hands. I think it was a fluke. But don't get it wrong. The Jaguars are good, man.
Well, I mean, yeah, but still the loss to the Jaguars.
Yeah.
It was fluky. I mean, Noah Brown, if he would have caught that ball, that would have been a first down. And then the who knows, right? The Cowboys could have probably just ran it. I mean, just continued to just dissect them. That could have just dissected that defense and got him to a scoring position, and that's it. Game over. If we do end up taking the first seed, do y'all think it will benefit us? I mean, right now, the first seed, we kind of saw it kind of like really out of reach, right? Because we said the Vikings need to lose, 49ers need to lose. And like what Sir Nando said earlier, he goes, man, I think it's almost like the stars are aligning for the Cowboys today. I mean, the Raiders almost beat the 49ers. So it almost became a reality type deal. And now with the Eagles, their whole tone, the coach's tone of voice, I mean, they really want Jalen Hurts to come back, and they need Jalen Hurts to come back because obviously, Harvey, you brought a good point, right? I mean, what happens if the Giants rest their players? Regardless of the situation, it's a rival team, and I'm pretty sure the Giants want to be respected. So I'm pretty sure the Giants are going to bring their A game, and they're going to try to win this game. And if Jalen Hurts can't play, well, then you know what? I expect the Giants to give them a pretty good run for their money. And so, yeah, it's still possible, right? You got one game left. You need the 49ers lose and the Eagles lose. Cowboys win, and they got the first seed. Will it benefit the Cowboys? I don't think it would benefit the Cowboys.
No.
Harp?
No, I agree, man. The only real benefit we would have is getting Biotish back. But I don't think it matters, man. I want my team to play. I want them to build momentum, correct some of these things that we got going on the defense, and polish up some things on offense, and I think we should be fine. But I will tell you, I watched the 18 snaps that McGovern did take on that last game last week, And there were some miscommunications, but I think that comes with playing Jerry, practice and then playing the actual game. He'll keep clean up a little bit. There were small mistakes that, basically pass offs on stunts that he missed. So other than that, I think he'll be fine, man. He just needs that repetition, and I think we'll be okay.
What does Fernando say? He says, this postseason, I could see every wild card team beat a top seed to move to the second round.
Hey, man.
Yeah, you're right, man. The Bucks and the Packers, I think we already talked about them right now. They're trending in the right direction, right? James Garcia says the 1 seed isn't too important when you think about it, though. Look at the years. Look at last year's Packers. Oh, good point. Like Mamba, what's going on, man? We're just talking about how the Cowboys have an opportunity to, take the division, man, and make everybody come to AT&T Stadium to face off, right? What's up, fellas? Happy New Year's! Happy New
Year's, man.
We got some viewers on YouTube. Happy New Year's to all you guys. We want to appreciate you for joining us. We couldn't wait till Monday, and we couldn't wait till Monday, man. I know we played on Thursday, but man, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. I mean, we got some good football this week. I mean, college and pros. Dan Quinn needs to be better. I will say this, man. I like what Dan Quinn's been doing. He's been focusing on stopping the run. But I understand that the defensive ends haven't been able, or the Cowboys edge rushers haven't been able to get home. But I do feel that once LVE is able to come back in, we're going to see a completely different defense, right? Happy New Year, Black Mamba. Hey, Johnny, repetition is the mother of success, and Happy New Year's, brothers. Hey, Happy New Year.
Yeah, Happy New Year, brother.
You're absolutely correct. Repetition. And that was one thing I said. What I like about these last, about 6 weeks, I mean, maybe the last 5 weeks, every single team that the Cowboys have played, they've been battle tested, man. And you know what? I love what I see because Cowboys are winning the majority of those games, with the exception of, the fluky loss to the Packers and the fluky loss to the Jaguars. I like how this team has been able to have adversity in the game. I mean, look at the game with. Look at the game with the Titans, right? I mean, look at the game with the Eagles. I mean, right from the get-go, Dak threw an interception to Josh Sweat, and he took it to the house. And look, they got locked in, and they were loaded, man. And they won that game with good fashion. Adam says the fact that the Packers are in the mix makes me sick. Ever since that Dez caught it, I just feel like the NFL somehow always gives the calls against us, man. It just feels like Aaron Rodgers gets those calls, man. I don't know, man. I think that guy sold his soul to the devil. And I'm just saying that jokingly, but I don't know what that guy did. He did some kind of sorcery, that ayahuasca or whatever he drinks. It's giving him some kind of abilities to get lucky. Is the scenario where we would blame the players on defense, but the coaches on offense? Ooh.
I agree with that statement, actually.
That is a great statement.
I agree. And the reason being is because remember the last couple of shows I've been talking about, I watched a lot of film, man. The defense, they're calling the right defense. The players are making mistakes. They're either overcompensating or trying to make a play that they're not supposed to and abandoning their responsibilities in that defense, right? On offense, I've seen the film on offense, the all 22. The problem is Kellen Moore is calling plays to beat man, and he's using that play against zone, which makes no sense. So he has Dak to throw the ball to nobody. So he makes sense, man. He's true. He's right.
I'm gonna read it one more time because it was pretty good. Is this a scenario where we should blame the players on defense, but the coaches on offense? So that was a good one,
bro.
I'll go probably make that TikTok clip, and I'm like, I like that one too. I mean, yeah, you're absolutely right. I mean, how can we blame the players on offense while on defense we're blaming the coaches? It has to go. But it has to go both ways, right? We have to be one unit. I don't care who we play. We need to win. Man, you're absolutely right, man. At this point, especially when we get into the playoffs, I mean, it doesn't matter who you get matched up with. You got to come away with that win. Our Cowboys pass rush has gone home because the teams are an obvious passing down situations are going to their quick passing game, while our Cowboys defensive backs are playing
Yep.
so far back. And you're right, man. That gives them the 2.5 seconds to get the ball out and let them, you know what I'm saying? And it's crazy because what I'm starting to see is that a lot of these teams are starting to go for it on fourth down, and it'd be fourth down in like forever, and they're going for it, and they're able to come away with the first. So Dan Quinn needs to fix that. I mean, even if us, you know what I'm saying, the hardcore Cowboy Nation fan base can see it, to even the average Joe that just kind of simply watches NFL, they'll probably be able to pick up on that. Like, why do they always go to the same play? Why haven't they stopped those little dinky dunks? That's right, Javier. Johnny Munoz says, playing hero ball, just do your job. Man, I don't see anyone on the O-line taking advantage of the fact that Parsons is being double teamed, or is it just me?
Yeah. And you know what? The other thing is the NFL's not calling. I got to get this statistic because I want to know. It feels like the referees are not calling a lot of holdings
They haven't been calling a
this
lot.
year. And Alex brought that up at one point, I think. Alex Lopez. Interesting. We gotta look into that.
Yeah, because before we were just seeing those yellow flags flying everywhere, and a lot of times it was the Dallas Cowboys. He said the defensive line. No, you're absolutely right. You know, because with Micah, he literally has two people hanging on him, right,
Yeah.
and literally choking him out. Speaking of the devil, there he is, Alex Lopez. Which Cowboy team was better last year or this year? Ooh, another good one, man. Thank you for the TikTok content, man. Harvey, I'll let you take it away.
Oh my goodness. You know what? I actually take this team, and let me tell you why. On offense, I like our offense. We just need to fix a couple of things. I think we'll be fine. I think Dak's getting better. I don't care what anybody says about the interceptions. I still think he's getting better because if you think about it, and I talked to Jerry about this before we came on, the past Dak Prescott would throw interceptions and we're done, man. We would get blown out, or you knew you weren't winning the game. For whatever reason, man, I don't know what it is. Dak gets a lot of hate, and I get it, right? I ask questions too. But doesn't it feel like Dak makes mistakes and we still have a chance? I'm just saying, think about that. I really do feel we still have a chance to win the game. Am I right, Jerry?
You're absolutely right, man. With number 4, I mean, man, I mean, I feel bad for the guy, man. I mean, he gets a lot of hate, man. But with number 4, if I see number 4 in there, I know that he's gonna be in it to the end of the game, man, and he's gonna have the Cowboys there to the end of the game. It's kind of weird, right? Because it almost feels like Tony Romo at the back end of his career. You know what I mean? And I'm not saying that Dak is in the back end of his career, but similar.
Let me answer this Twitter or the TikTok before it gets out of control. The Packers, this was user 844791110. The Packers loss wasn't fluky. They literally do that to us every time we play. We play them. I mean, I can't deny that. NFL is getting too sloppy with the penalties. That is true, and that's from Mad R3Z. Bland has been an amazing surprise on the defense. For a lot of people, it has, man. Not for me though. Mad R3Z 2009. I guess he's talking about the team. Patron 9164 this year, more balanced. I agree with that. And the reason being is because I think our defense is taking away the ball so well, man. Mad again, wishy-washy. Yeah. Patron defense run game isn't as bad as last year's. Okay. Mad DR3Z, he gets pressured and gets happy feet. That's funny you say that, man, because I've seen that from Dak. And I don't know, Jerry, if he's doing that because if you notice sometimes when he gets pressured and he feels the pressure coming his right side, he runs. All he has to do is step up a little bit and he'll give himself a little bit more time. Tom Brady does that a lot, but he's right. He really does do that. I've seen that on film. Lewis and Brown aren't coming soon, right? No, they're out. They're actually out for the season. But when is Hankins, LV, and our center coming back? Hankins and LV are coming back next week, I believe. Or
the first round of the playoffs.
Yep. And their center, we don't know, man. It's still questionable.
I think with him, they were also saying first round.
Yeah. Roland De La Rosa says defense gives the offense chance after chance to score. He's right about that, and that's why I like our chances, because they do that a lot. So that we're caught up on TikTok. Thanks, guys, for the comments.
Well, that's exactly why I was gonna respond to Alex saying that's why I like this team, because the defense gives the offense every opportunity to get us back in the game. Plus, you had number 4. I love his aggressive nature. I know it comes with some picks, but that's what happens when you're trying to win these games. So Jose Pais says, but are DBs good enough to play man or have to give up a few yards?
I think these guys can play man. I've been saying that all year.
We've seen them. We've seen. Well, I mean, okay, obviously Nashon Wright. It looks like he's starting to fit into the equation, but Deron Bland, I mean, for the most part, he's playing up close to the line, man. And sometimes he does get burned, but you know what? I'd rather take that than playing off kind of off. And with Trayvon, we've seen him play on man, and he's done a really good job with man. Johnny Munoz says our DBs are tall, physical, and we don't jam at the line of scrimmage. I don't understand that. That is something very crazy, man. I'm not gonna lie, because when you actually look at that, I mean, it only makes sense, right? I mean, for the longest time, even at the high school level, they would tell you, man, jam, as a defensive back, jam them at the line, get them off of the route, because the timing's not gonna be off. Hey,
Yep.
man, you know what? That will create what they call a coverage sack, right? And then Jose Pais was just clarifying on the DB on his DB comment with this year. Johnny Munoz says, when you jam at the line of scrimmage, that gives pass rush a second more to get home. Exactly,
That's
man.
what we've been saying.
Yeah, man. So I know Dan Quinn has to know this, man. I know he has to make these adjustments getting to the playoffs. I like this year, but I hate the fact that Randy Gregory left. But hey, look at the Broncos situation. Hey, man, he just came back to the Broncos. I think like 2 weeks ago.
I'm not gonna lie. In reality, I wanted Gregory back. But in hindsight, the way Armstrong is playing right now, defensive end, we've gotten more production from him than we've gotten from Gregory in 1 year. Because Gregory, I believe, only had 6 sacks the most in 1 year. And I think Armstrong has, I don't know how, I think he has either 6 or more, Jerry.
I believe Armstrong has 8 actually this year.
So to me, it's already a no-brainer. Like, I don't miss Gregory, to be honest.
I mean, I miss him because I feel like the Cowboys really took their time and helped them get back on the right track. So yeah, I understand what you're talking about there. If we can't stop the run, we will go. Because if we can't stop the run, we will go far in the playoffs. If we can stop the run, you're absolutely correct. And it looks like that's what they've been trying to focus on, is stopping the run, which is good, because that had been the Achilles heel at the beginning of the season. But now the pass rush has gone down. But obviously I think we could tie, you could kind of see, okay, obviously we don't have those specialty players. Jonathan Hankins was brought in to, eat up those double teams. And of course, LVE going down. Now we know how important he was to his defense. Osepi's big issue is you don't know what Dak you're going to get, and you don't know what type of game Kellen is going to call. Adam says they will attack our secondary as much as possible due to us giving up us that much yardage. He goes, what happened to our dominant pass rush? 3 sacks in the last 3 games is not good, man. It all ties back to what we were saying about the whole coverage that they've been playing too far off. I mean, literally 10 yards back. That gives every quarterback the 2.5 seconds to get rid of the ball. Johnny Munoz says 32 people in here. Hit the like button, everyone. Help out our brothers grow the channel. Let's go, man. We do have 27 people on YouTube. We appreciate it. Hopefully you're subscribed. Hit the like button. Obviously, it'll get shared. And of course, if you want to share it to other people that love Cowboys talk, let them know. Got Harvey Zuniga and Jerry Martinez on the Cowboy Cast. And if you can share it, and tune in. I mean, turn on your notifications. We do go live. We usually go live when the schedule's regular, Monday through Thursday, breaking down what they did good and their matchup up ahead. Johnny Munoz, Armstrong, Flower, Williams have all replaced the loss of Gregory. Ooh.
At a much cheaper discount. Discount. Like
2 years, $6 million. That's what Armstrong was going to cost.
Yeah. So TikTok real quick. We got Dak also hyperextended his knee a bit. He did in that game, just a bit. That's Jerry Loves Football. It's kind of weird, that name, right? On TikTok. We need to get away from more pressure. We talked about the pressure. Jerry Loves Football says, sadly, I think Kellen Moore and Dak will cost us playoffs. I hope not, man. That's what I'm saying. I think we need to play these games to get away from that. I said, I call Dak the weather quarterback. He's unpredictable. And then Patreon 9164 says, defense needs a lead in order to be a dominant pass rush, not always being on the field. And he brings up a good that Patreon 9164 does. And I've said this, the greatest defense is offense. You have to complement your defense. If this offense starts out slow and they're 3-and-outs or 3-and-outs 3 times in a row, and you keep that defense, I don't care how good your defense is, your defense is going to get tired, man, towards the end of the game. So I 100% agree with you, man. We need to start out fast.
I mean, yes, it's absolute. Josepe says, how happy are you with D-Law, man?
Oh, happy.
Dude, not only did he help us by signing that contract that, helped helped us save that money right towards the salary cap. Man, he's been playing like what we want. Yeah, he got burned with Justin Fields. That's the only thing. But up to that, he fixed it, man. Trey, it's good to hear from you. I think Pollard has a big time playoff run, Super Bowl bound. Weedon boys, man. I feel like playing the song, Yes, sir. And Jerry Jones and Steven love being cheap. Laugh out loud.
But you know what, Jerry? This year it's worked out for us. It really, in the past, all you guys, you get upset that we don't get that blue chip player from free agency, which really hasn't worked for us. If you think about it, it really hasn't. And so them going cheap a little bit more maybe kind of solidifies them as Jerry would say, the money ball strategy, right? But you got to think some of these guys are under a 1-2 year contract, and it's kind of like, hey, I need to prove myself because maybe another team will pay me. That only benefits us though at the end. So I like it.
Yeah. I mean, Dante Fowler is a great example. He was a former 3rd pick overall in the 1st round. And I mean, he, unfortunately when he was a rookie, he tore his ACL. And then I think he was barred by another injury the following year. And then from there, he had a good year with the Falcons. And then he kind of disappeared when he went with the Rams, but obviously scheme and player, they do work hand in hand. So I think that when you look at the bigger picture, like it's good, man. I think that these deals that the Cowboys have been banking has really been paying off. What did he say? Dak better be laying on the expensive on the beds.
That's funny.
That is funny. The biggest loss was Cooper, and he has 11. He has over 1,100 yards, 9 TDs this season for the Browns. But you know what? I love me some CeeDee Lamb. He has 102 catches, 1,214 yards, and 8 TDs. So he's right there, man. It just shows that the CeeDee Lamb is. You know what? I'm gonna go out on a limb. I'm gonna say this. Come year 4, CeeDee Lamb is gonna enter the superstar status realm, and I feel that he's gonna be better than what we've ever seen when you compare him to Amari Cooper. But yeah, I will say we do miss Amari Cooper in this offense. Gerardo Martinez. Oh, that's kind of scary, man. That's a very scary name, man. I'm just saying because yeah. Our D line was the reason why our D was elite, not our secondary, to be honest. Yes, but without LVE in the lineup, it's statistically been shown we went from 2nd place defense in pass rush to 32nd in pass rush. So obviously we need the players to fit the scheme for certain reasons, right? And I believe the reason why when we look at LVE is because he was able to fill in the zones in that 10-yard cushion that the corners are giving up, to be honest. Fernando says, only problem I have with Moore is when Dak is heating up, he tries to do something trickery and stop the drive.
Oh my God.
Dude, you hit it right on the
button.
button.
My God, bro.
Right on the button, man. I think you're
right.
Dude, that right there is going to be a TikTok on its own. Let's talk about that real quick. I've seen this happen 3 weeks already, man. He's starting to hit the stride. I mean, he's hitting players, and all of a sudden you get CeeDee Lamb on a jet sweep. Why?
Or a reverse.
or you got Turpin. Like everybody knows when Turpin's in there, Turpin ain't gonna go run no traditional route. Turpin's out there to do some kind of gadget play.
If I was Mike McCarthy, I was like, take them damn reverses out of the damn playbook. I'm not gonna lie, man.
So Gerardo says, what are your predictions for the playoffs, man? I think at the way it's going, it's going to be very hard to come away with a division, even though we're still being hopeful. We will find out, and we're going to be paying attention to if Jalen Hurts is ready to go, man. Because if not, then there's a strong possibility, and then we're going to see. We're going to be paying attention also to the New York Giants and see if they're going to rest their starters, because that right there says it a lot, because they already clinched it, so there's nothing for them to really lose. Alec, so right now I feel the Cowboys are going to go against the Bucks as the 5th seed.
Yep.
And I feel the Cowboys will have this game in hand.
I think it'll be my opinion, Niners versus Green Bay, the 2 seed versus the 7 seed, and then it'll be Vikings versus the Giants, and then Bucks and Cowboys. That's my prediction.
Somebody on TikTok says, what do you guys think of Gallup signing now compared to keeping Cooper and Cedric Wilson?
So patron 9164, I'll answer that real quick. I love the signing. I'm okay with Cooper leaving. The one problem I had all year was we should have kept Cedric Wilson, and we could have afforded him. Never understood why that happened, but that's my opinion on it.
I'll tell you this, with T.Y. Hilton coming into the situation, I think he's going by Mr. Third Down. I love it, man. You know what I mean? See, I think that once they start getting T.Y. Hilton involved, and you start hearing CD talk about how, you know, T.Y. is kind of showing them how to read certain defenses or what to do when they're double teaming him and stuff like that. That's great, because you can see that CD Lamb has had a boost in his play. Alex Lopez says, unofficial stat, 127 less holding calls this year than last year. Still have a week to play. Wow, we were looking for that stat, and Alex came out, man, clutch.
That's crazy, bro. That's a lot.
Hey, and we still got one more week to go, man. So what happened? Did the NFL say just let him play?
I don't know. I think it has a lot to do with Mike, in my opinion, because I think Jerry Jones might have brought that up on the owners' meetings.
He has a big way. Cowboys, I mean, Cowboy Nation knows about this, right? But the haters and all them, they don't really know how much weight Jerry Jones has when it comes to these meetings, man. So yeah, I'm pretty sure that something along these lines have to have been discussed. We need McCarthy to coach the way he did when he was with the Green Bay when he won the Super Bowl, after the refs did the screw job on man, that year was going to be a special year for the Cowboys. Gerardo Martinez, Kellen Moore needs to stop doing the same thing over and over, like running on first down. That gets us nowhere for like 2 or 3 yards, and sometimes they're negative yards, right?
Yeah.
No, we see that too. And right now, this is what I'll tell all Cowboys Nation: just rely on Mike McCarthy to make the adjustments on the week-to-week basis, man. Because I'll tell you this, he knows that he has a great team at hand. Like, he understands his team at hand. I think it's kind of safe to say his job is safe, even though we may be one and done. If that was the case, if we were one and done, I think he has his job is safe. I think if anything, his number one move for Mike McCarthy would be to get involved with Kellen Moore, if Kellen Moore is retained, because we don't know, right, Dan Quinn? We could probably lose him for a head coaching job or a head coaching gig. Same thing can be for Kellen Moore too. You never know. Somebody could fall in love and want to make him the head coach. Johnny Munoz says Lamb is the only one getting open because Gallup and Brown aren't getting open.
So Johnny, a tidbit. I saw the film, right, on the Eagles game. Dak missed Gallup 3 times, and Gallup was wide open for a touchdown. Just throwing that out there. I looked at the all 22, and Dak is coming off his first read, way too soon, and he's not letting develop. And if he went on one of them, if he would have just maybe half a second more, Gallup was wide open for a touchdown, but he went off his read. So I wouldn't necessarily say that all the time, but I know Dak just needs to be a lot better at his progression. That's all I will say. No,
and I think you're absolutely right? Because I mean, the one thing that we freak out with him is that he's going through his progressions, but like you said, I think he just kind of breaks off the first one to scan the whole field, and
Yeah,
typically he goes for the check down. I don't know.
and I think, and that's why I the other user, I don't know who said it, but Dak's getting happy feet, Dak, and that's why, man. Like, you gotta just be calm, leave your feet where they're at, and just be confident that the read's gonna be there. But he gets happy feet. He's right, just a little bit.
I can see it. If Jerry Jones would, this is from Trady. If Jerry Jones would let the coaches coach, we could be very dangerous for a long time. And let's give Mike McCarthy some. Let's give him a round of applause. And the reason why I say let's give him a round of applause is because I don't know about you, but Mike McCarthy does not give me the same vibe as Jason Garrett. Like, it doesn't look like he's a pushover, man. I will tell you this: we understand what you're talking about, because when Jerry Jones is right there, at literally in the locker room giving updates on players that are hurt, Mike McCarthy still comes out, and he's not a pushover, man. He just says how it is, gets the team realigned, talks to the coaches. So I like what I like what I'm seeing with Mike McCarthy.
So real quick, Jerry, since you're on that, I will tell everybody, crazy stat, right? Jerry brought up 92 to 96 back-to-back NFC East, right? If it does happen this year, right? But the other one that's crazy is that first 12-plus wins for the year, right? Since 92 and 95. Think about that. I'm just saying, you can't really hate Mike McCarthy too much.
You really can't.
Yeah.
I mean, the record speaks for itself.
And that's with an injured Dak Prescott for 5 games.
Let's just say for 2 seasons, right? Because this first season lost.
Yeah.
Jose Pais says, I guess he's referring to the coaching, still too predictable. I mean, there is some plays that are still too predictable. Johnny Munoz says, that's why I hope they play Ty more, so he can give Dak another option in the passing game. Yep. Not only that, but he kind of lets him know what these defenses are doing, right? Quentin Warner, hey, appreciate you joining on and chiming in.
Yeah, appreciate it, man.
Listen, just keep CD in the slot and give Ty some reps. Game over. I think I think that's how simple it needs to be.
Yeah.
But I do like you said, not only use him in the slot, but make sure you're using him on the over/under, right? And let Dalton Schultz and him attack. And I think that, hey, whatever the 49ers try doing to us, I think it's game over, and it's going to be a different turnout for the Dallas Cowboys versus the 49ers. Brady and Rodgers are our boogeyman. You know what, man? We all had that boogeyman, and you know what? We all know how to get rid of the boogeyman. Let's punch him right back in the mouth, man. Show him that we're not afraid of anything. Gerardo Martinez says, if the Cowboys are first-round exits, should we fire McCarthy and Moore and sign Peyton and his dream team? Man, I think that, Gerardo, I think right now that's kind of like 50-50 split, maybe 60-40 split for the Dallas Cowboy Nation. That's kind of what they would want, man. They'd want a Sean Payne, but I heard this from doing a special podcast. Somebody had the individual we had on there. He said something that was very he said something that still stuck to me. He says, if you look at what Mike McCarthy's been able to do and put up the seasons that he's been able to put up with the winning seasons, and he goes into the playoffs and he loses, this is what he said. He says, how do you think Sean Payne would feel knowing, hey, I'm going to come into a situation where this guy put up great seasons back to back, and just because he was first round one and done in the playoffs, and get fired after putting up 12-win seasons, like that doesn't even sound fair at all. Like at all, it doesn't sound fair. I would understand it was 8-8, right? That kind of situation. Well, then, yeah, I think that would be the go-to right now. But I think if anything, if the Cowboys are one and done, I think McCarthy is going to be retained. I believe he'll probably try to keep the same coaching staff unless one of them leaves. I don't see Kellen Moore leaving, but if he does stay, I think McCarthy, the best thing for him to do is be in with Kellen Moore and them attacking the actual play calling together. I'm sorry, TikTok. I know you guys. I see the comments going crazy, man.
They are crazy,
but that's why you guys should just all come on over to the YouTube, man. It's live, it's bumping right now, man. We got people commenting like crazy. We want to get to each one because each one are awesome comments, man. Listen, the reason why CD is getting open is because he is productive in the slot. Keep him there because no one can cover him in the slot. And you're absolutely right at this point, man. I mean,
100%.
and then his yak is finally
Yeah.
starting to show up, man. It's starting to show up. Everything he did at Oklahoma is starting to show up. Do you all think we lose Dan Quinn to the Broncos? Man, that's a
That
tough.
one's 50-50 too.
That is a 50-50.
Hey, listen, Dan Quinn still has to sit down with Jerry Jones, though. Jerry Jones is a very he's a businessman. That's all I say.
I'll tell you this much right now. I'm pretty sure there's a bunch of people that would love to be defensive coordinator for the Dallas Cowboys, especially when you have Micah Parsons. And then, man, I mean, it doesn't just stop with him. I mean, you actually got a bright future with young linebacker crew, young defensive edge rushers. You got you got Damone Clark, Sam Williams. You still got Trayvon Diggs. You got Deron Bland. I mean, the future looks bright, especially on the defense. Offensive line, it's kind of in a transition period where we're trying to keep our, the players as healthy as possible, even though they might have been in the league for a while. But hey, long term, I think they're heading the right direction with Tyler Smith. We still got some pieces there. So Johnny says, hold on. I think I missed Adam. If we're going to be dumb reverse plays, why not do a flea flicker to Lamb or TY? But I agree with Javi, no trick plays. Yeah, yep. I will say this. I don't think I would want to see CeeDee Lamb doing the flea flicker. He's not as accurate as let's just say an OBJ would have, right? Because we've seen OBJ do some crazy things. That's the definition of insanity: doing something over and over the same way and expecting different results. More running on first down. And that's a great point, man. It looks like he almost does it just to shut the Cowboy Nation fan up sometimes. It's like, dude, don't be doing that. Dak's timing is off 75% of the time. It's kind of hard when your left guard is sitting on your shoulder in your laps, man. As a quarterback, that's very difficult. He can't even step into the pocket because his guard can't. It's taking him a while for the guard to get to him. So obviously, we were seeing they're starting to trend in the right way, but then Tyler Biadasz went down. Thank you for that, brother. I don't know that. I did not know that. I don't know who's. I think
he might be talking about the back-to-back 12-plus seasons, maybe.
Oh, yeah. Will Dak have time with Peters at left tackle? Man, I don't know. I know that you're kind of iffy with it, Harvey. I know you're.
I keep saying, man. I this is just my opinion. If you've been playing left tackle this whole time, why not just stay there?
He did do good, man. He bought some time off.
I get it, Jerry, but why would you move another player to a different position and then just plug that next player into guard? Because he's been playing there the whole year.
Yeah.
And I'm telling you, I watched the film. I watched the 18 snaps that McGovern played at center with Smith, and they didn't do too well because you got to think it's a new position for him, and they have to communicate, and they've never done that. So to me, I just think if you're going to do that, put a new player on left guard and leave Smith on the outside if you're going to have those breakdowns anyways. That's just my opinion, though.
Look, I think it's just like anything, though, because look at Tyron. Even with his first week back, I mean, man, he kind of looked a little rusty. And then his second week, he started to look a little bit better. Now he's looking better. Yeah, there's some things to clean up. Like you said, he's probably one of the guys that you're talking about moving from left to right. But it looks like he's starting to get his feet underneath him. And I think with Jason Peters, he probably would need a second week of playing left tackle exclusively.
I think Dak will have more time with Tyler Smith on the left side, not Peters.
I could see where you're going with that. Either he doesn't trust his O-line or he is scared of getting hurt again. Man, I think sometimes with Dak, I think that is in the back of his mind, man. And I don't blame him. Harv.
No, I don't, man. That's a gruesome injury to have.
But not only that, but like you can see it in him when he's hurt. Like you can see he doesn't want to lead, man. He wants to play. Yeah. I mean, look at that 2020 ugly season. I mean, what was he trying to do? He was trying to pop his ankle back in place, and it wasn't. It wasn't what he thought it was, man. It was really a severely a broken ankle. So yeah, I do think a little bit. It does look like that. Thoughts on Tyler Smith, man? I'll go first, man. I love the pick, man. I think that I think honestly, I think he's going to be the left tackle of the future going forward, man. And so the Cowboys will just have to be, smart. I mean, they've done a great job as far as working together in the offseason to make sure that they get the right prospects in. I think this year they hit home runs with Tyler Smith and Sam Williams. Jalen Tolbert's kind of still a missing piece, but finding Deron Bland, Jake Ferguson, you know what I mean? The list goes on and on. This team is loaded. And come year two, come the next year. That's why we're saying, hey man, if the Cowboys are 1-1 this year, I guarantee that come next year, when the players are actually 2 years in and the other ones are 3 years in, now you're talking about a team that is they have not only what's the word, Harvey?
The experience,
but they're gonna have playoff experience too, right?
Yeah.
Which is very important when it comes to a young team getting into the playoffs. Adam says, bro, 42 on chat. Everyone on here, invite a friend and double this podcast, baby. Let's go.
yeah,
Man.
let's go.
Appreciate it, man. You could tell Dak has studied Romo a lot in the pocket, but his feet work isn't just there sometimes. However, with the addition of T.Y. Hilton, I think Dak can get rid of the ball quicker with more options.
Yeah.
And that is actually a very low-key observation. I think that is something they need to implement extremely fast. Josepis, we need to tell the trainers to rub eggs all over our team. Right?
Yeah.
What is it? Curale con el whatever.
Cúrale con el huevo.
Hey, there you go. Do you have any prospects in mind for Cowboys next year, man?
Hey, I'm gonna say
I do, but I just don't. I don't like talking about it right now. But it's cool. I mean, I don't mind talking about it.
I'll say it. I want the quarterback from Stanford, man.
He likes Tanner McKee, man. He thinks it's time for the Cowboys to start bringing a quarterback into phase.
He doesn't have to start. I say sit him for 2 years, watch him, see what Dak does, and you never know, man.
I would say at this point, I think that earlier indications was Cowboys need to address the cornerback opposite of Trayvon Diggs, but man, I think Deron Bland has kind of emerged as that player. So I think from the way things are going, if Kellen Moore is retained, it looks like the Cowboys do need a wide receiver to continue, even though they do have Jalen Tolbert, but for whatever reason, I don't know if it's just that he's not picking up the knowledge. But definitely, I think right now, I think that the Cowboys should try to lock into maybe an offensive tackle, maybe that offensive tackle from Georgia. I believe his name is Broderick Jones. I think they should try to lock into him. Solidify that offensive line, add those missing pieces. Because I'll tell you this: look at what's happening right now. Tyler Biadasz going down, and then the whole line shifted, and then it's like, oh. But if you have the blue chip players on offensive line, obviously right now the weakest thing on the Dallas Cowboys is the offensive line. That's the oldest part in the entire team right now. So that's a name for you guys out there. 2 names out there. If our Cowboys want Sean Payne, that's going to cost them a first round, a draft pick. Thanks, but no thanks. Johnny, I think the way it goes is if the coach retires, I believe they have to give up a 3rd round draft pick. It's no longer a first rounder. So I think that's what they said. So that's why he did it. He was very strategic on this. And there's a rumor. I mean, when there's rumors, that means there's some kind of truth out there. Sean McVay may retire this year too. So I will say this: if you can't get Peyton, maybe, I mean, would you want Sean McVay? Can you imagine a Sean McVay in this kind of situation? What do you think, Harv? I think you're on mute. Can't hear you.
I think Sean McVay knows he's in murky water with that team, man. They put together a team for 1 year to win a Super Bowl, and they're in trouble with all these picks, not having picks and all that. So I think it's smart for him to be like, you know what, I'll retire and maybe wait a year or 2.
Well, that's what I'm saying. If he was to retire this year, then that allows him to kind of sit back and look at the things. And then, if the Cowboys kind of go to the same kind of progression, maybe Mike McCarthy, Kellen Moore's not the answer.
Yeah.
So Sean McVay, who's relatively young.
So real quick for TikTok, somebody asked, the Cowboys fans are bandwagon fans. That's what he said. I don't know who this guy is, But then he said, "Are you guys talking about next year already?" Wow. So when our fans ask us questions, we like to answer them, right? So he talked about what prospects do you see coming. So that's why we answered the question. Whoever user 345166765 is. Anyways, back to the regular scheduled show.
Yeah, obviously you tuned in right. Obviously you. He goes, "It's me, Gilly Gill."
Oh, Gilly Gill.
Oh, he's the one that's been.
No, that's not the one that did it though. Oh yeah, it is you. Yeah, man. Somebody asked a question: what prospects that we see coming out?
Yeah,
So
it was up here, and I said I don't like talking about that stuff too early, you know, because I'm focusing on this here. No one wants more, so he'll be here again.
yeah, he will.
Thanks, Jose. Thanks for giving us a reality check. Hey, Joseph Georgia, it's a new name. Appreciate you for the comment. They are not great seasons. The expectations is NFC champ game, and then Dallas hasn't been there since '98. Like that's crazy. You can't say every year, and if you're not out of the first round, it's not great. It's not. No,
Yeah.
you're absolutely right, man. I mean, the Cowboys have high expectations. Cowboy Nation has high expectations, but the thing with the Cowboy Nation is that we understand our team, man. We understand what we have on offense, on defense. So there should be no reason why we're not in the actual NFC Championship each year, NFC Championship, and there should be no reason why we're not in the Super Bowl. If this is your first time tuning in with us, we talked about this. Look at the NFC right now. What quarterback scares you? Jalen Hurts doesn't scare us. That's probably the only quarterback that's young and that's probably scary. Down the line, yeah, maybe a Justin Fields, but Kirk Cousins doesn't scare me. Aaron Rodgers doesn't scare me. Tom Brady probably can't wait to go to the Raiders. He ain't gonna be in the NFC no more. A-Rod, I mean, A-Rod is selfish. He's just he's a me guy. But other than that, what quarterback scares you, man? Really, reality, the NFC is wide open. So if you understand that, because you've been watching the show for a while, you'd understand why we say Cowboys. It's their year every year because there's no quarterback like a Trevor Lawrence, a Justin Herbert, Joe Burrow, a Patrick Mahomes, a Josh Allen. Harvey, am I right? Do you want to add?
No, there's none of those quarterbacks in the NFC, and I mean to be real about it, because that's what I am. The Cowboys have a chance to go to Super Bowl, just like any other team up here. The Niners, I don't know about the Vikings; they're really suspect.
Yeah,
but I'm just saying the Eagles as well. I'm not going to deny the Eagles. You know what I mean? But there are teams that can anybody at this time, anybody can take it because there are none of those players, like Jerry said, those big time players that he's talking about. I'm glad they're on that side. They can, the bloodbath can begin over there in 2 weeks, right, Jerry?
It's gonna happen, man. It's unfortunate, man, because some of these quarterbacks you would love to see them in the AFC Championship, but it's just not gonna roll. The dice is just not gonna fall in that favor, man.
Yeah.
And you never know, man. It's not too. It's very possible that Trevor Lawrence can knock down a Patrick Mahomes, or you know what I'm saying, or let's just say a Josh Allen. It's possible, man. Quentin Warner says, "Man, you guys are awesome. I usually listen to Law Nation YouTube for Cowboys content. However, I'm glad I stumbled onto you guys. Hey, appreciate you, man.
Let's give that up.
Yes, sir." You know, I think, you know, with the Cowboys, the pizza's so big, man. Like, you know what I mean? And there's so many different ways that you can attack it. Obviously, Cowboys can bring us so much great news, but it's about looking things at a different angle, and that's what you're gonna get with the Cowboy Cast. I mean, it's just different. It's just different ways of doing content, and just this is the kind of football talk that Harvey and his brothers and I get into each day, and it gets really intense, man. So
It does.
you guys should stay tuned. I believe there's gonna be some debates coming up pretty soon. Those should be fun, man. Hit the like button, 42 people. Let's go. Hit the like button. I mean, that really helps the channel grow, and that's what we've been trying to do. We appreciate everybody who's been with us. Johnny, Alex, Jose. Man, if I missed the name, I'm sorry, but man, these guys have been
Black Mamba,
man.
Trey Day, yeah.
Jose Pais, right? All of you guys have been definitely day ones on TikTok. You know, Sadie Lynn, April, Ambition, Joshua, man. Even we even got to give hats off to Saltbox. I'm Salt Bay, right? I call him Salt Bay, but it's Saltbox. Even user 32405 and whatnot. Hey, all you guys have been around since we first started doing this, and we appreciate you guys too. But we appreciate the new people, of course, that are joining in. Who's this? Raymond.
Raymond 6, new guy.
All right, let's do it. Raymond, I had to say this. Is that even a question though? Like, I
I
mean,
don't think Mike. Nah. Hey man, he's gonna play the way he's been playing, man. I think he'll be just fine. We don't have to worry about that, man. For real.
it's a laceration. So if anybody's scared of the thing, he had a cut
Just
and then it
cut,
got reopened.
yeah.
Peter's a guard.
Yes, 100%.
Hey, and he's a very strong man. That guy can push people around. But I'm not gonna lie to you, Tyler Smith looks good at left guard too, man. So Cowboys have great problems right now. You don't want an older dude or a hurt player on the outside, man. You know what?
Thank you.
It's an actual factual statement. Johnny Munoz says, question, brothers, when is it time to play Lamb and Diggs? Which one do you all pay and which one do you let walk? Because that's coming up soon.
You pay both of them. Somehow, some way, you keep them.
Yeah, I believe with Trey Diggs, his contract would obviously be the first one up because he's a fourth year. His is a 4th-year contract, so his contract is up next year. So is CeeDee Lamb, but with CeeDee Lamb, you can use the 5th-year
Option.
the 5th-year rookie on his rookie deal, the 5th-year option. And so from there, the Cowboys, Stephen Jones, I don't know what he does with his sorcery, but I think Trey Diggs gets signed first. And I'm pretty sure Stephen Jones he's been showing us that he's been making some wise decisions. I mean, not retaining Randy Gregory and who's the other one? Le'Veon Collins. I mean, look now. I mean, I'm not going to question him anymore. I just want our O-line to use these 10 days to get a little healthier. We got pushed around in the time game on defense. I really hate when we didn't get Raquan Smith from Chicago game. Him and Micah, man, I know, man.
That guy has been playing better with the Ravens than he did with the Bears.
But
it's almost like they gave him free reign on the defense.
I will say this though: the thing with Raekwon was that it was going to cost. I mean, not only did it cost him the high draft capital, but you're going to have to pay him too, man. And
he's a free agent next year.
Yeah, so I'm pretty sure they're gonna resign him, but still, I mean, at what price is he going to come in at?
That's a lot.
You know? And so right now, Stephen Jones is very frugal, man. We understand he ain't going to spend money if he doesn't need to spend the money. Why not put Tyron at left guard and Peters on the right side? Man, I think with Tyron, I think he's more of a tackle, man, than on the inside. And then the only reason why I say this is because Tyron's a big man. I mean, like, stature and size. I mean, he's closest thing to like 7 foot, I believe, man. Ram, I don't think Dak is playing with confidence as far as injuries. Have you ever know sometimes when you play mentally, you forget and play when it comes to injuries?
You have those things creeping out in the back of your mind, man. You really do. And that's why I explained that sometimes he gets those happy feet and he doesn't stay in his read when he's supposed to, and he moves to the next read because he's getting those quick feet and he see people coming around him. And instead of stepping up in the pocket, like I said again, and giving him another second, a second and a half, he's not doing that, man. He's thinking about that injury. You see it on tape, man. It's undeniable. But how can we blame him? I mean, he had a horrible injury, man. I can't blame Dak for that. He's just got to try to learn to deal with it.
Or just learn how to, like, Russell Wilson was always great at evading big hits and sliding. Has to learn how to turn that on and off, right? What are the contracts looking for? Diggs, Parsons, Lamb, and Tyler Smith. Tyler Smith, we don't have to worry about for, man, like a good 4 years for sure.
Yeah.
The Trayvon Diggs, he'll probably get the he's probably gonna be making about 21 mil a year. I believe that's 21. Yeah, about 21 million a season. I believe Lamb will probably fall like around 22 to 25 million a season. And then of course Parsons is probably gonna break the record, man. I think
he's gonna break the record.
I think he's gonna break the record, man. I mean, you're talking about he's gonna be probably making like quarterback money, man. That's just what it is. Jose País, cure de susto. Azúcar con agua, like my grandpa used to say. You know, I don't know, for whatever reason they say if you put sugar in water, it takes away all your fears, man. If we lose in the first round, do we sign Peyton and Carr as a backup quarterback? Ooh, well, number one, I guess you're referring to Sean Payton, and then sign Derek Carr as a backup quarterback. Now, man, I think with Derek Carr, his situation, he has a no trade clause. So if he doesn't like where they want to send him, he could deny it, and he'll be like, pay me. And I'm pretty sure nobody's gonna pay him just to be a backup quarterback. And they'll release him, and he'll go wherever he wants. Deion Sanders will make his NFL coaching debut with us. Watch, man. You know what? He's taking the right steps, man. I think with Deion, though, I think Deion's a little bit smarter, man. I think Deion would probably stay in the college ranks for a while and maybe get into an SEC school and then stay there for a while because in college career, a college coach, they have a more forgiving type of a season. So if you look, if you don't win this year, or you didn't even get to your conference championship, well then, you still got 2 or 3 years, because in college, the programs are a little bit more patient with the coaches. So Quentin Warner wanted to chime in on the prospect. Tennessee Vol wide receiver pro ready. Veteran linebacker, the price you pay when you are one of the 14 teams in the playoffs. Cowboys will not be picking less than 18. JJ may need to do some things to get in top 15, man. So he actually likes the Vols wide receiver.
He's a beast, man.
Hyatt, right? Hyatt.
Yep, Hyatt.
So, that's what happens when you're a football football enthusiast. You know names, man. You know players, and you know who's going to be in the NFL in the next year. Okay, when do we start looking for a good quarterback draft? I think Harvey already answered that question.
I like the guy from Sanford, man. What's his name? I always forget his name.
Tanner McKee. Tanner
McKee. I like that dude. Love him.
He's a little bit tall. TikTok says Ron Rivera didn't even know. I don't know. I guess they're having a little conversation. DC for life since 1978. Hey. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, he's saying what round? I guess would you pick him?
I'm hoping in the 4th round or 5th round and more, but they're saying he might go way earlier than that. We'll see, man. I don't know.
Hey, Ketera Jones, new from Washington DC.
Welcome.
I believe that's your neck of the woods, isn't it?
Yeah, it is, man.
That's cool, man. That's awesome. Hey, appreciate you.
Heber Garcia.
Yeah. Go Cowboys, a new one. Let's go. Ketera Jones, thoughts on T.Y. Hilton so far? Mr. Third Down.
Mr. Third Down, that's what we call him now. But I just think he needs to play more. And I hope him and Dak, if they do play, I hope him and Dak, maybe about 5 to 7 catches, man, for this next game. That's what I'm saying, just to get him warmed up a little bit. Third down.
I cannot wait, man, because I'll tell you this, we finally got that deep threat, man, and that's what he is. But, man, he's coming up with some clutch catches, and I think it's going to only benefit the Dallas Cowboys offense, especially in the playoffs where teams start to focus in on stopping the run. Well, you know what? You need that wide receiver. You need those group of wide receivers and tight ends that can get open, and the quarterback can get the ball to him. And I think that T.Y. Hilton, it was the right pickup for the Dallas Cowboys at the time we did. Look, why do folks constantly bring up the 27 years of not winning? Please realize that there have only been 13 teams that have won Super Bowl in 27 years. 18 teams have not won. Nothing is ever said about that, right? I guess that's what he's referring to.
And we brought Quentin. If you were here a week ago or so, we brought that up. And we said what? Only 33 quarterbacks have won the Super Bowl.
32 quarterbacks have won from the 55 Super Bowls. Only 32 have won the Super Bowl.
That's insane.
Only 20 NFL teams have actually won the Super Bowl.
And the other thing is, we said when you draft a quarterback and he's your quarterback for your team, you have a 10% chance of winning the Super Bowl.
10%.
That's crazy.
That's a crazy stat line.
Yeah.
I mean, but that's what we like. That's what we love, man. Trade Tyron next season, man. I don't know, man. I know he's getting a little bit older, but he's actually 31. Look at Trent Williams. He's 34 and he's having a great season, man. I think that maybe at the right tackle, he's probably giving us that opportunity to rebuild. And maybe we can take advantage of maybe him playing at a high level at the right tackle position. I'm just saying until Terrence Steele comes over, then you can have him play where you need him, I think. Why hasn't our D-line getting a lot of sacks recently, or even the rush? I'll just make it simple. We talked about it early, but I'll make it simple. LVE, man. Once he comes back, you'll see a big difference. Y'all remember the Dion Jerry Jones commercial in the 90s? I say Dion is coming soon before JJ croaks. Well, what did he turn 80 years old this year?
I think so.
So
He's old.
He needs to know. David Asher, official Cowboys playoff war cry. Just win one, baby.
Hey, that's a new one on YouTube.
Yeah, it is.
David Asher, welcome, brother.
Welcome. We appreciate you.
Just win one, baby. Real deal.
Another one. We have been waiting to see that, but I believe that's what they said by the end of today or this evening that they would know exactly the schedule. So we're still waiting for that, and I have my notifications turned on.
I think tomorrow will be the day because
Yeah.
all the teams will be set. So
yeah, and we'll be live tomorrow. Usually we go live around 6:30 p.m. Central Time, 7:30 p.m. Eastern. So if you guys tune in, if you have notifications, you'll see when we're going to go on. If not, tune in around that time, and we'll definitely bring that to you. And then we'll start talking about the Commanders and see exactly what's going on. You know, all 22 never lies. I'll tell you that much right now. I think the reason the Titans game was sloppy was because Dak threw the ball over 30 times. His comfort is about 25 to 30. Not having Pollard really hurt. Zeke averaged 1.9 per carry. Not good, man. You know what? That's a very tough. That was a very tough run defense.
So I will take that one, Quentin. So yeah, they were giving up 80 yards a game for rushing. That's a good defense, man. 80 yards a game. That's pretty good. But no, and I think on one of our other shows we said it, man. Pollard was poor, really missed, man. He really was. I like Malik Davis all day, but I think having Pollard just on the field changes everything in the passing game and in the running game. So I believe you're right, man. We did miss Pollard.
Oh yeah, and he's one of those guys that, even though it's a tough defense, man, if he hits that hole, man, there's a good luck.
Good night.
You're not gonna catch him. But you're right. I also like that balance, right? 30 rushing attempts, you know, even if it's 35 rushing attempts, I'd rather have that and have Dak throw 25 times than Dak having to throw 35. Because statistically speaking, I think Dak's record is below 500 when it comes to him having over 35 passing attempts. So that's a number that you don't want to see him go over. So great observation, Quinn. I love your take, man. Why don't we see our tight ends run routes like Witten used to? I actually think Dalton Schultz is what Witten used to be.
Yeah.
I mean, but I will tell you,
he said tight ends, not tight end.
I was going to say, look at Jake Ferguson, though. I like what Jake Ferguson brings because he's a little bit more wide out. You know, he's a little bit more he's lined up a little bit more outside, not so close in. And, man, he's really special with the ball after the catch, man. So I'm telling you right now, I understand what you're saying. I love me some Peyton Hendershot. I think I gave him some mosca, right, as we say, about, man, you got to catch the ball, man. You know, but he's a rookie. The future looks bright.
Undrafted rookie,
and he was gonna go with the Chiefs, and he chose the Cowboys, man.
That's crazy.
Yeah, it is crazy. But I will tell you this: I do feel, I have this gut feeling, man, that just tells me that the Cowboys are going to be employing more of that tight end, that multiple tight end packages, especially during the running. Anything good on TikTok?
Not really. Let me see.
Man, we're getting lit up on YouTube, man. I mean,
Yeah.
I love it. All those that are viewing, we appreciate you. Thank you so much. Can T.Y. Hilton rush the passer?
I know where he's getting with that, and I'll answer that question. David Asher. So this is the thing, man. I think the Cowboys knew they needed a veteran receiver in that room. They just did, man. With the playoffs coming and getting close, I think they needed that for everybody. And I think, as you can see, I think it's helped out a lot more. Even CD said, man, he's opened my eyes. He's slowed the game down for me. And if you can say that as a third-year guy and how dynamic CD Lamb is, to say that T.Y. Hilton has slowed the game down for him, I don't know. And the whole pass rush thing, they figured it out. They just let the ball out a lot faster. We just need to clean that up. That's all it comes down to, is fundamentals and playing the right defense by Dan Quinn. Hopefully we can fix that. So that's my take on it.
Yeah, for sure, man. Everything what Harvey said, I like it too, man. I mean, like you said, I understand what you're trying to say. You know, we need the pass rush. We need the defense being dominant, and then just say wait till LBE's back, and I believe we're going to get back on roll with the pass rush. Dallas played 3 games in 12 days. Fatigue is real. It is real, man.
Yeah.
This stat right here. People don't really understand that, man. They just want to bash. Oh, you guys barely beat this and this. 0-27 and counting.
And
Okay,
hey, also for I'll say for another 28 teams, 29 teams. It's the same. It's a lot.
it's true. Ramiro says rumors are Tyron rather retire than play for another team. Man, I
Ooh.
love that, man.
Ooh.
I love that. I'm just saying it just makes you feel good, right? Like that's kind of like a Tony Romo type deal, man. Cowboy for life. Eagles suck. It's funny, right? Because people say Cowboys, they like to say Cowboys are that right there, but you see, I don't speak that. That doesn't come out of my vocabulary. But
Never.
usually, what I'll say is, can you please provide some context to that statement, right? He goes, I think if Kellen Moore sticks with 12 and 13 personnel, this team would be unstoppable. I think he just goes away from it a little too much when it's working strange. But Harvey, I want you to highlight what you say about that.
So I've been talking about that a lot, but I don't think you want to tip their hand too early so teams can figure him out. To be honest, man, I think they're being very smart about that package, and I agree with it. Unless they've been losing games, then like constantly in a row, I could see them pulling that back out. But I think they're saving that for the playoffs. Well, stay tuned, right? But I think they're going to run maybe some power ball with that, and then off of that, some play action. It could be very nasty, man. I don't think they'll be able to stop it, to be honest.
Real Deal says 49ers really pissed me off. I wonder why. Quinn Warner, yeah, you're right, brothers. Titans of third rank against the yeah, man. Actually, they were actually their rush defense was better than the 49ers rush defense,
Yep.
which is what the 49ers have been so good is because nobody can really break it out. Who do you think will cost us the playoffs?
Starting slow. That's it.
Well, I guess he's saying like player wise. I don't think anybody. I don't think player wise. No, I think it's going to be coming down to coaching, man. And it's a great. I think Harvey said it best. If you start slow against the Buccaneers, watch out, man, because they're a fourth quarter team and they take over fourth quarter. So if you can stack the points up on the Buccaneers, good luck. I rather take, I rather put up 42 on them, and if it's 42-3 in the fourth, I like my chances with this defense against the Buccaneers that are red hot right now. NWO Cowboys for life. Let's go Cowboys.
That's a new person.
Yeah, Francois Price.
Welcome, man.
Man, I actually love the NWO, man. That's the New World Order. TY should have a better chance at being a defensive back than rushing the quarterback. Well, he does have the speed, so whenever you have speed, you can probably do anything in the NFL. I understand if you don't want to answer because bad luck, but if you do, let's just say Eagles clinch NFC and we go against the Bucks. What are your predictions for this game?
I honestly, I look, man. I'm not gonna sound like a homer, right? But I like my chances, and that being is Tom Brady's not playing like he used to. Let's just be honest. He really aren't, man. And I don't think they can. They have. I know he can come back. He's been coming back in some of these games, but I think the Cowboys are a lot better team this year, man. Defensively and offensively, even though we struggled just a little bit, but I just think, man, Pollard really coming out of his shell more than any other season this year. It's a bad matchup with those guys, man, in my opinion, honestly. I just think we have a better chance this year against Tom Brady because he's not the Tom Brady of old. That's just me, unfortunately. But that's my opinion, and I just think we're a way better team, man. And that's what it comes down to, honestly. Now, we still have to play the game, and we'll see, but I just think the Cowboys are just way too talented at this point, man.
Especially with that first game, Harv. I mean, we saw that Leonard Fournette.
Fournette?
Lenny, right? Lenny Fournette. he was able to gash the Cowboys for some big runs. I'll tell you this, I don't see that happening now, man. Cowboys
Nope.
have really zeroed in on trying to stop the run. So, if you could do that, you're definitely putting all the pressure on Tom Brady's 46-year-old arm, man. And that I'd rather have, right? Let me see. Where did we leave off?
I can't believe that Brady and Rodgers. Yep.
There's a big speed difference between tight ends and wide
Oh
receivers.
yeah.
An interception will cost us the playoffs. Okay. Yeah, it could. I think multiple would be the one that breaks the back though. TY would have a better chance at defensive back. We got there. And that was just one I guess I missed. I can't believe that Brady and Rodgers are both going to be in the playoffs. I know it's not official, but it's happening.
I think it's happening too.
Yeah, but it's good, man, because I've always wanted Dak to just be that last football player to just drive that nail right in the casket, right? So like that one thing they say, they're missing defense tackle Haskins right now on defense. Watkins, Osa, Gallimore are a little small. Man, Deron Payne from Commanders, free agent next year.
We'll have to see, man. I think it has to do a lot with money. How much is he going to cost?
Yeah, and he is a former what is he, a top 10 draft pick?
Yep.
So but you're right. Jonathan Hankins, right? He's very much missed, man. I mean, that guy would help you out, take up. I mean, he literally would grab double teams and just hold them, like hug them up and free up the linebackers to make plays. If we don't rush and keep the pressure on Brady, we will be in trouble. Like always, badass show and DC for life, baby. See you tomorrow. Patos. Sounds
Later.
good, Adam.
Later.
Yes, sir, man.
Cuban surfer. New member.
Cuban surfer. As of today, who would the boys play round one?
Bucks.
The Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Gerardo Martinez. Am I right? Dak is a second quarter. He's a second half quarterback. He will always start slow and cold.
True.
I mean,
True.
it's kind of hard, man, because we've seen him kind of have his fast starts, but I think it comes down to those play calls, man. They get a little cute with the and somebody answered that question for you too, Cuban
Tampa Bay.
Tampa Bay. It will be a big battle between our O line and their defense more than our D against their offense.
Yep.
Oh, well said. Guys, I think this will be a setup for the playoffs. Yes, I want my Cowboys to go first seed. However, if not, 49ers, Packers, Vikings, Giants, Cowboys, Bucks, go Cowboys.
Yep. Exactly what I said, man. That's what's going to happen.
Man, it would be nice if the Packers took out the 49ers. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it would be crazy.
The Niners are kind of like, man, they want to say they're faithful, man, but man, they're just almost as annoying as the Eagle fans, man. Sir Nando, you're still on with us. Thank you. A round of applause for you. This is we've actually broke a record. This is the longest that we've been on air. So I love it, man. It's all these football minds coming together, especially with, even if you don't love the Dallas Cowboys, hey, you love football, and that's what we're talking about. Is we're breaking down football. Defense versus Bucks should only rush 4 on first and second blitz on third, if down and distance in their favor, and help with Evans that Brady go to.
Yeah.
Man,
great. I agree, man. 100%.
Man, I think you're right, man, because you know what? In the end, you can see, I mean, they have a unique connection, Brady and Mike Evans, they do. Do you guys have this do you guys have like the schedule when you stream? I'm new and ignore notifications. So yeah, typically 6:30 p.m. Central, 7:30 p.m. Eastern. I don't know what time zone you're in, but that's typically when we go live. Cuban surfer says, but remember, Brady beat us the first week of the season.
Not worried.
I'm not worried either. Like I said, I mean, obviously Lenny really helped him out, man. I mean, he broke some big runs. He had a great rushing game. We made him look good. If you looked at Lenny, he didn't even look good today at all, even though it was different. I'm sorry. Fernando, eating menudo, sorry.
Oh, man, why do you got to say that, man?
Man, menudo.
Man, bro, I like mine spicy. Menudo with the cilantro, the cebolla, the chile, all that, the limon.
Man, and it goes good for breakfast, lunch, and dinner.
Oh,
man.
yeah.
This stuff is good. with Dak as the starter, right? So he's saying, but remember, Brady beat us the first week of the
Not
season.
worried.
Dak as a
Not
starter.
worried. Total different team, man.
And
Two different teams.
And you're talking about, I think he went down in the second quarter.
Yeah.
So I don't know, man. I mean, I understand the point that you talk about, like, but what Harvey just said, this is two different teams, man. I worry more about the refs than I do the Packers or the Bucs.
Don't we all, man?
Yeah, man,
Don't we all,
it's
bro?
crazy. Like the Tennessee Titan game, the Cowboys went in 14-point favorites, and what did they win by? 14 points. So that just shows
Yeah.
you next week, whatever the number is, I would bet. And I mean, I'm not a financial advisor, but I would say I would take on that bet, man. I'm saying.
Hey, let me answer some questions on TikTok because we've been
Ram said menudo after a long night day drinking. That does cure that cures everything, man.
Should we worry about playing against Brady? The refs will give him the calls. That we just said that, man. It's true. Somebody said go Vikings, and somebody responded with Vikings lost. How about them Cowboys?
Let's go.
Garza said we playing Saturday or Sunday. We don't know yet. We'll find out probably tomorrow tonight. Showing TikTok love, baby. Hey, thanks, Big Adam, 1978. Do a whole Prescott beat Buccaneers because the Bucks beat the Cowboys. Not sure. Now we have a chance. We'll see, man. I think they're two different teams. The Bucks have been very inconsistent. They have been winning as of late. They came back against a couple of teams, but I don't think they've been playing well enough, man. I don't think they've been playing at that football where they did last year, where they caught that hot streak. Nothing is hitting on all cylinders for them. They're still barely winning, and it's like I can't even watch the game sometimes. You're like, yeah, this is not good football. So it's just kind of, I think this is the year, man, for us to beat the Bucks.
I feel it too, man. Let's just say that we beat the Bucks. Who's next? I think we've already it kind of changed since the last time we looked at it, right? Because I think it was the Eagles would be the next one.
The Eagles,
but
if they win out,
whoever has the first seed, that's who the Cowboys would play after the Buccaneers. So that's just who it is. So right now, I mean, it could be the 49ers who are the first seed. We'll see. Somebody said Eagles, right?
Yep, he's right.
He jumped on what we were saying. Brady has the rest in their pocket.
Yeah.
At Eber Garcia, I hope I said that right.
Is that new?
Welcome. I think they're new.
Welcome.
So does Rodgers.
So
does Rodgers. If Dak gets the protection, he will be all right. Run the ball. I would prefer to have Pollard outside the 50-yard line, Zeke in the 30-yard line, unless we need that tough 1-yard run. No, you're absolutely.
I agree, man. 100%.
You're absolutely right, Cuban
Surfer.
That's funny. If I missed it, would you rather play the Bucks of a home playoff game first round? Ooh, okay. We didn't really talk about this, but I mean, if the Cowboys are able to get the NFC East division, that means they come to AT&T Stadium. So he's saying, would you rather face the Bucks? What would the Cowboys be facing the Bucks at Tampa Bay? Or if we get the division? No, if we get the division, the Bucks would have to come to AT&T Stadium, right?
I don't care where we play with this team, man. I really don't. I don't care.
But I'm just saying, if the Cowboys wrap up the NFC East, then it'll be a Buccaneers will come to AT&T Stadium.
Yep.
But if the Cowboys going with the 5th seed, then we're gonna have to go to Tampa Bay for that. We starting the Stars next week. Yes, we are, because we are playing for the NFC East division.
Yep.
That was if you missed it, but on Thursday, that was what we were talking about. Should the Cowboys take a knee for the Commanders so we can block the Packers from getting in? But the Commanders freaking blew they blew it today, man. Regardless who we play, we'll have to rely on our defense to be ready.
Yep.
And I think that Dan Quinn knows the pressure. I'm pretty sure, as much as we talk about it, I'm pretty sure he hears it, man. I mean, Dallas is a big city, man. Refs get real confused when Brady plays Rodgers, the freeze, right?
Yeah.
And when Brady plays Rodgers, they freeze. No, you're absolutely right. I just like, which one do you go for? TikTok, somebody says Niners will beat the Eagles in the NFC Championship game. Man, I don't know, man. At this point, it's up in the air. I don't even think the Niners. I think the Niners have been exposed, man. So if you're a Niner fan, good luck to you and your 49ers. But definitely that Raiders game did not look good, man. I know you
That
guys
was good, man.
you guys have won 9 straight, man. So do you really want to win 10 straight and then get into the playoffs all burnt out because you guys went through 10 games winning streak? Just saying, it's not sustainable. It's not sustainable, right? And then the past master, another new name, right? Personally, I'm fine with the 50-50 running back split. I think guys like Michael Gallup and James Washington need to get more involved. Not a huge Noah Brown fan. Man, I'm with you, man. Harvey and Ram have been on me for being so hard on Noah Brown, but I mean, I'm just saying I'd rather be trying to feed CeeDee Lamb or Dalton Schultz the ball, especially in the most crucial times of the game. I just feel more comfortable with that fixture right there. But yes, if I think with CD, I think when it comes to Zeke and Tony, they need to get 15 carries at least, man. They need to. Cuban Services, what's the status on our defensive starters? The defense totally looks totally different now than a month ago. Allowing 30 to 40 points is not going to cut it. No, you're right. You're right. I think there's so many ways to answer that question though.
It's so many.
I
mean, new defensive backs. We lost Brown and we lost Jordan Lewis. New defensive backs playing, the left corner. Diggs, traveling with the best receivers. So sometimes Diggs is playing the slot because their best receiver is playing the slot. Then you have 2 new guys playing the outside. A lot of stuff going on, man. So we just need to fix it and have them play more together. That's all it is, communication.
And then of course we're gonna get some players back that have been dealing with the injury rate, just to kind of emphasize on that. And we should see a difference. On paper, Jose Rio says, on paper we look great. We match up well with wherever. Cowboys by 3 versus Bucks. Go Cowboys. Let's go. And Quentin Warner says, you guys are right. The highest seed will play the lowest seed. If Cowboys win the division, they will catch they will catch the Bucks Eagles winner because Eagles will drop to the 5th seed, swap with the Cowboys. Correct.
Yep.
Yeah, and from there, it's a whole different mapping of what we've seen. This is a new name too.
Okay, welcome, man.
You guys do a great job enjoying the show. It's fun to have a week 18 game that means something. Let's get this done. Go Cowboys, man. Appreciate that, Aaron. And welcome aboard, man. Real deal. I'm glad we got Bland. He's starting to be a really good corner. Yeah.
It's just gonna be if he keeps doing what he's doing, he's gonna be a superstar in this league, man.
And not only that, but he is adding to what Trayvon Diggs, right? The ball hawk, right? And that's something the Cowboys have been missing for years, man. Was a true ball hawks. True ball hawks. So it's only gonna get better, I think. And like you said, he's a rookie, man, and he didn't even get to play the entire season like a Tyreek Woolen who has 6 interceptions, and Deron Bland at half of the games played has 5 interceptions. It just shows you the potential he has. J.S. Tubb, that's a new one too, right?
Yeah, man. Welcome, brother.
I guess he's referring to what I was talking about with the 49ers, right? About how they're on a 9-game winning streak. But no, you're absolutely right. I mean, even we saw when Micah was calling for the timeout, he was gassed. You know what I mean? So you're absolutely right. But these guys are pro players, man. This is what they're trained to do. So it's up to the defense, and it's up to the actual general manager and the entire organization to make sure they have a healthy rotation, to make sure that their second team is just as good as their first team. I think the Cowboys have that rotation. Just we're missing some key players right now on the defense. Jonathan Hankins, LVE, they're very key. They play very key pieces in this defense. Gerardo Martinez, get rid of Washington and maybe Brown and keep / extend Hilton. They that way he's been playing. Okay. I get what he's trying to say. So basically he's saying like let Noah Brown walk, which I'm pretty sure they're going to let Noah Brown walk. I think he's on a 1-year deal, and he's just saying extend T.Y. Hilton, and then we can start seeing him.
Yeah,
more.
I agree with that.
It makes sense, man. I mean, we've already said. I mean, that's one of our segments that we had. I want to say, what was it, like 2 weeks ago?
2 weeks ago. Yep.
I think in this office you need 3 number ones. You don't. I mean, you're not gonna get. You can't. You really cannot get by with a wide receiver that's been developed to become a wide receiver. You need a top guy. Thank you. Glad to be here. You guys popped up on my YouTube feed, and you have a new follower. Hey, Aaron.
Hey, yeah, man. Appreciate it, brother. Thanks, man.
Appreciate it, man. He says Washington has been eliminated from the playoffs. Yep.
Dallas. Yep.
This wins 35-10. Oh, he already gave us his.
Dang. Okay.
We haven't even been able to see the spread, but let's go. Let's go. Jose Baez. Commentators today were saying that even when Hurts comes back, they are still not playing the same and have issues that he can't fix. And we played the clip of Nick Sirianni. He was saying that they're having slow starts, man. So
he sounded he doesn't sound like the same coach, man.
No,
he sounds very worried.
He's a very intense individual. I mean, he was chastising the entire Cowboys organization when he beat the Cowboys at the beginning of the season, and to hear his voice now, he's saying next week we have an opportunity to play for the NFC East Division Championship.
That's crazy.
For him to talk like that, it's weird. Gerardo says, when is Mullen going to start, or is he going to start at all?
I think these next 10 days, what I've been reading is just all where he's at when the playbook and how he performs on the practice. So I think that's what it comes down to, man, how the coaches feel with these next 10 days that have been coming down to. So we'll see. I think I don't know if they make that move right away, but I know from reading some articles that Diggs has been helping him with the playbook. And Kirsch even said it too. He said, this guy is not playing around, man. From the flight back, I think from the Jags, he was already studying film on the airplane. So that tells you a lot, man. We'll see.
And they're really taking it case by case, but I think DeRon Bland's exceeded expectations for that for that outside corner position. I think sometimes Dan Quinn gets too cute with play calling on defense. However, I still think he is awesome DC. We just need to get key pieces back on defense. Teams are running away with running from Parsons.
Yeah, that's true.
You're actually right. That's the only way to beat Parsons.
Yeah.
I feel Diggs needs to take a page out of Slade's book. Once he masters the finesse side of being a defensive back, seeing the entire field, he will be a top 3 to 5 for years to come. I mean, I think he kind of and the good thing with him, he has a very short term memory, right?
Yeah.
What Joe Rios is responding to somebody on TikTok is no one keeps track of almost things except team Texan fans. Laugh out loud. That's a
no. I agree with him, and I think for me, Bradbury didn't play very good last year.
Lamb torched Bradbury.
He torched him.
I mean, completely torched him.
But that tells you what he said, right? That comes into different defensive disciplines and what he has to play in the responsibilities. Dig is asked a lot from this defense of him, and so that's why he takes a lot of risk. But no, I totally agree, man. I think with the right correction with Diggs, I think he would be just fine. Just like Bradbury did this year, man. He's a whole lot better than he was last year. I agree.
Eagles are starting to have a lot of problems. This is from Real Deal. Eagles are starting to have a lot of problems on the defensive side and on the offense too, man.
Yep.
Angela Alvarez. Hello. Thank you.
Welcome, Angela.
She said, not sure if you guys only comment on Cowboys, but what about Eagles versus Saints game today? My husband is a Saints fan. My son is an Eagles. I'm the Cowboys fan at home. Also, my first time here. Hey, welcome.
Okay, welcome. Yep.
Hey, that's kind of. It sounds
like crazy. That's a crazy household.
How did that happen? How did the son go with the Eagles? But no, I'll tell you this. From what I saw in that Saints game was with the Eagles, they had a very slow start, and with the Saints, they were able to make the plays. They were able to find the little holes in the Eagles defense, right? And I think who was it? Juwan Johnson. He had a relatively good game. I know towards the end he had like a very critical drop that really kind of stopped their momentum. And then from there, it looked like the Eagles were going to make a little comeback. And then, man, it just The Saints, man. The Saints have always had a
Yeah.
I mean, they've been able. This is what we talk about when specifically with the Cowboys. It's like when you look at the Cowboys defense, it's very young defense, and they're growing together. But you're talking about a lot of guys that are still rookies, year 2, year 3 guys. So come next year, you're talking about year 4, year 3, year 2, and then of course whatever rookie you bring into the mix. So that's only making a better team. But when you look at the Saints defense, that's exactly what you have with the Cowboys. You have a team that they're all in their prime, so that defense knows how to make plays.
Yeah.
Cameron Jordan has been one of those players that has been, man, he's exceeded all his
He's a beast.
expectations. Marshawn Lattimore, man, he's the one who turned the game over for the Eagles, man. He's the one, man. I mean, he's the one who gave the Eagles the gut punch, man. He had that pick six. I don't know what Gardner Minshew was even thinking just looking at him, but he stared down AJ Brown. I don't know why he just had that confidence and he just let it rip and Marshawn Lattimore made him pay. And defense, when the offense got the ball, they just made the plays that they needed to, got the first downs, and they ran the clock out, and that was it for the Eagles, man. But good luck to you and your family. But hey, we're here. We love football. We talk about football all year round. We look at all the teams too. Our Cowboys defense has a very glaring spot at defensive back. Really? You guys think so? JS Dub? They have to figure out what to do at cornerback. Guarantee a real quarterback like Brady will expose that all day.
And I think I understand what he's saying. I don't think it's such a glaring spot. I think it's more of we have the players. We just need to find the right one. So I get what he's trying to say. So I think we just need to find the right defensive back out of all the ones we have. Alexander, Mullen, who's the other one? Deshaun Wright. I think we just need to make sure that we find the right defensive back. They're in the building. We just need to find which one's going to play left corner for the rest of the season, I guess, as you can say. All right, we got the Pass Master. I want a super chat, but no icon. We'll see, man. We'll see if we can get there. I'll get with Jerry about it and see what we can do, man.
Yeah, my bad. I was putting I was plugging in the charger.
So he said he talked about I want a super chat, but no icon, Jerry.
Yeah, I believe the super chat is like when you actually donate. You know what I'm saying, to the channel. Yeah. We'll get there pretty soon. We appreciate the gesture though. We'll get there pretty soon, and you know that it's still relatively new, but we're building up the channel. So definitely, for now, I mean, definitely share it, help. You know, spread the word. You know, we are on all social medias, and you know, we try to do our little cut ups, and then of course the TikToks, and then whatever play we do little edits for them too. So definitely follow us on the social medias and share it for now, and we'll look into the super chat.
All right, Quentin. The only way you don't get these one-year great players like a TY, etc., is because some players are chasing the bag. Don't be surprised if this owner don't revisit this OBJ thing next year.
Man, I think that's gonna happen next year.
Yeah, I think so too. I have my ideas of it, but we'll see, man. We got Diggs has a tendency to bite on pump fakes. He needs to clean that up.
I think he is gonna clean that up though.
Yeah, I think so too. I think he will. All right. Anybody know what the Pittsburgh score is? Jerry, can you get that for us? Or
I mean, I can.
Let me see, because I'm not. Let me get these comments in real quick.
Right here, real quick.
All right. Somebody just said 13-6 Raven leads. Never mind. They hooked us up, Jerry.
Even better.
All right. We got. Oh, I think we got a new one, Jerry. John Kanuki. All right, welcome to the show, John. Thanks, man, for visiting us. First time. Eagles open up as the 13-point favorites over the Giants, and we are 6-point favorites over the Commanders. So does Vegas know a little bit more than we do, Jerry?
I mean, they knew exactly what was up with the Titans, man. I think I'm gonna take that bet on. That's what I'm gonna tell you. But I mean, we gotta wait because as the week grows, for whatever reason, that number kept on growing and growing. It's been happening the last 2 weeks too, man.
Yeah, now we got Real Deal. Hey, if it wasn't for Diggs, we would have lost a lot more games than 4. That is a good point, man. All right, we got Jose. Jose, if the Eagles are crumbling, how far do we see the boys going? Jerry, I'll let you take that one first.
Man, I just say good luck to the Philadelphia Eagles, man, because I think at this point, even when Jalen Hurts comes back, I mean, if they need success, they need him to run. And if he can't run, if he can't get the running game going, because you know what, he's gonna be falling, man, and I don't care what anybody has to say, man. An injury is an injury, and it hurts, and it stays in the back of your head. I mean, we talked about that earlier with Dak.
Yeah.
It looks like he plays scared. I mean, Jalen Hurts gonna be playing scared, man. And you know what? There's only so many shots that you can take before you start getting sick. So yeah, I think that right now, the Eagles are not one of them teams that is gonna be going into the playoffs strong.
All right, Quentin, just want to get you guys' thought on this. So we have the experienced cornerback from Clemson, second rounder and former Raider. Do you stick with Nashawn or go with experience in this playoffs? Nashawn is good.
I like what I've seen from Nashawn. I think he's actually surprised. He's actually surprised us, right? There is some things that he could clean up on his game, right? Because he looks a little stiff-hipped on certain things, especially when he's lined up against smaller guys. I mean, it doesn't help that Nashawn Wright is 6'4". But yeah, man. I mean, he looks like he has that playmaking ability. He has a knack for that ball, man. So I say roll with Nashawn and you just use Trayvon as you need him.
So I like Trayvon just because this is just my opinion, right? Nashawn's been with us, but Trayvon this is his third team, Jerry?
Yes.
I like that. And he's gotten a third chance. So to me, you don't get very many chances in the NFL. And I think that type of player, man, he's going to be a dog when he comes out because he has nothing to lose.
And the only reason you say that is because if you look at J-Ron Curse, he was in the same boat, man. He was drafted by the Vikings. He only played exclusively special teams, and then he did a stint. What was it? 1 year stint with somebody else, and then when he came with the Cowboys, he just fit into the system so well. So yeah, man. I mean, it's exciting to see him get in the mix, but for right now, I think with Nashawn, he was a high draft pick. I think it was a rounder. So that's the only reason I say let's see what we got.
All right, Quentin's on the roll, man. Today, Quentin, he's not stopping, Jerry.
He likes the channel, man.
Hey, excellently, our quarterback are pretty damn good. Our issues right now on defense are linebacker and defensive tackle. That will be fixed with LV and Hankins coming back. We agree, man.
Yes, sir.
100%, brother. All right, we got Angela. Just subscribe. Good luck, guys. Y'all seem cool. You'll get the appreciate it. Thank you so much. All right, next one is John. First time checking in with you guys. Good stuff. I'll be back. Thanks, John. Make sure you subscribe, brother. All right, John just gives us the thumbs up.
Appreciate it, man.
All right, we got the past master. Oh, okay, cool then. I'm sub, brother. I got you. When it picks up, no doubt. I think the glaring holes are linebacker minus Parsons and safety. I missed the Darren Woodson day. Jerry, don't we all miss the Darren Woodson days, man?
Yeah, man, for real. I mean, Woody was different, man. I mean,
he
you're talking
was
about somebody that would lay the wood, but was also a ball hawk too, man.
Right.
Let's go.
Yep. Never trust the odds, especially with division games. Nothing is ever set in stone with the NFC East. He's right about that.
Oh
man.
yeah, on the East, you're right. But with the Tennessee Titans, they had it like right on the money.
They did, man. They did. All right, real deal. I hope this game against Washington doesn't bite us with injuries. That would suck, especially if Bird Brains win.
I like that one. I don't think I've ever heard the Bird Brains.
We'll see. So, Jerry,
We've
been for 2 hours and 8 minutes, man.
Round of applause, man. We've had a great. The discourse has been amazing. The love is real. The discourse is amazing. On TikTok, I see somebody say, "I love it." And the 49ers got the second seed, and the Cowboys opened the Eagles up for us. Let's go.
Let's go.
I think if anything, a lot of teams do owe the Dallas Cowboys, some form of credit, right? Because I think the Cowboys were able to show, regardless of how hot the Eagles started in the season that they put up. I mean, it is what it is, and the Cowboys knew who the Eagles were, and they went in there with a plan.
All right, I'm going to go with the last question of the night. So I absolutely can't understand Dak haters. They did the same thing to Romo and would have done the same thing to Aikman before he won a Super Bowl. Real deal. Yeah.
He's actually right. And you know what's even crazy is that when you go back and you look at Aikman, just go back whenever you guys have time. Or you know what? If you really want to just say that you want it, but I can bring you the stats of Aikman stats from when he was a rookie until even up until where he retired. And you'll see his stats were ugly. 12 touchdowns, 12 interceptions, 13 touchdowns, 11 interceptions. Like literally, that was every single season.
Okay, so
Crazy and mind block.
I thought I had one more. The intensity goes up in the playoffs. The NFC is wide open. When I look at these teams in this NFC playoffs, I am not worried. The team I didn't want to see are the Lions. They score points. Man, we these guys won't stop.
Let's go.
All right, we got. I would like to address the elephant in the room. Dak's picks. He's a liability at the beginning of the games. I cringe every time the Cowboys are on their own 20, 30-yard line and he throws to a wide receiver. I'm not worried, man.
Me neither, man. I mean,
I'm really not.
When he gets locked in, he looks unstoppable, man. And that's the thing.
That's because here's Jerry. All right, Jerry, you want to close it out?
I believe that's it for us, man. I mean, we had a great show. It was great. We saw a few viewers with us. Hey, if there's anything that you guys like to hear, definitely, let us know in the comment section below. If you're watching this on the restream, and if you can, share it to people that are similar, either they're Cowboy fans or not. Share it with them. Let them know where they can find some football heads that love talking football, especially Cowboys. TikTok, we love you as always. We will see you guys tomorrow, 6:30 p.m. Central Time, 7:30 p.m.
Later, TikTok.
Later. And anybody, we got some late people.
Okay, got it. We got Diana. Happy New Year. Great to see so many new subscribers. DC for life. Thank you for sure, right? Round of applause. And then we got the past master Glass stumble across you guys. I'll be back. Thanks, brother. Appreciate
that,
it, man.
Really do appreciate it.
And then Jose, last one. Bring the pain, fellas. We will, baby.
Let's go.
Monday, we keep it real.
Yes, sir. Monday,
Hey.
we're gonna be talking about what they did against the Titans. We're gonna talk about the good, the ugly, everything. So let's get right to it, right? And look at that, man. We got some emojis, the fire emojis.
Yeah, let's go.
Look at that. Somebody's calling the Cowboys Super Bowl champs, and that's what we're gonna be. That's it for us. YouTube, like I said, thank you all so much. Share it, like it, and subscribe. Thank you. Have a good night.